Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE. That's 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819382.
A dozen Palestinian returnees were allowed into Gaza, and a few medical evacuees exited to Egypt Monday after the long-awaited reopening of the Rafah border crossing was marred by delays. The reopening of the crossing, a key step in the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, but it's mostly symbolic at this point. Few Palestinians will be allowed to cross in either direction daily. About 20,000 Palestinian youngsters and adults needing medical care hope to leave devastated Gaza via the crossing, according to Gaza health authorities. Thousands of other Palestinians outside the territory are hoping to enter and return home. The crossing was closed since its seizure by Israeli forces in May of 2024. Michelangelo's The Last Judgment is undergoing its first major restoration in several decades. The imposing fresco dominates the Sistine Chapel. The chapel will remain open to visitors during the 3-month cleaning project. News and analysis at townhall.com. Rather unusual ending to a college basketball game this past weekend.
Tuskegee basketball coach Benji Taylor was handcuffed during an incident involving his team and members of the Morehouse basketball and football teams. The football players' presence during the post-game handshake prohibited by conference-mandated security protocols. When Taylor asked a police officer to enforce those protocols, the officer handcuffed him and escorted him from the court. Taylor was not charged. He has hired attorneys. Jason Walker reporting.
Waymo's global expansion plans are getting a huge boost as the robo-taxi pioneers raise another $16 billion to fuel its plan to go worldwide. Waymo is now valued at about $126 billion. It's come a long way since starting as a moonshot project within Google 17 years ago. More on these stories, townhall.com.
It's the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, broadcasting live from downtown Nashville. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Good morning, and welcome to the John Fredericks Radio Network, all across the United States and here in Tennessee. We are broadcasting live from our studios in Nashville, Tennessee. It's time for the Morning Rundown, which is brought to you every day at this time by our friends at the Glock Store, glockstore.com, located just a few miles from the airport, right here in Nashville, Tennessee. So here we go. Here's the morning rundown for Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. Number one, Governor Bill Lee delivered a State of the State address here in Nashville, Tennessee. We'll have clips of that. Number two, weak weasel Fidel Freddie O'Connell, the mayor of Nashville, has set up a 9-member commission to try and figure out what happened in the storm. I'll tell you what happened. They weren't prepared for it. They didn't cut down the trees, and it went kerflooey. Tom Pappert will be here at the bottom of the hour to talk about that. I've got one word for Freddie. Fire. Fire everybody, Freddie. Because if you don't, I think there's a chance you could get fired as mayor. Number three, Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton said they would testify before Congress to avoid contempt of Congress charges. There is a vote coming up on that tomorrow. But wait, there's more. What's the asterisk? They were kind of doing another delay. We'll testify if these certain conditions are met. That's not the conditions that the Congress wants. And so they have until noon today to accept that. As far as I know, this contempt vote will be held tomorrow. We'll see. Number four, the Tennessee General Assembly is reconvening this week, and lots going on. We'll have Clint Brewer in hour 3 to talk about that. Number five, DHS said all agents are going to wear body cam. I think that's a good thing. Number six, a local story. Todd Kastner, our friend, executive, who was running for mayor of Williamson County, which is the affluent suburban county just south of Nashville, says he's out of the race. So we'll try and figure out what happened there. Number seven, more politics happening here in the 6th Congressional District. Johnny Garrett, the majority whip at the Tennessee House, has raised, $1 million bucks. And Van Hillary, the former congressman, has raised $700,000. And so we'll have some more details on that in a bit. Number 8, Marsha Blackburn raised $5.5 million in the first quarter for her gubernatorial race. Interestingly enough, John Rhodes says he raised $6.5 million. $5 million of that was a loan from himself. So not doing quite as well. By the way, at the State of the Union address last night, Marsha Blackburn was there. Monty Fritz was not there, nor was John Rose. I don't know what's going on with that. Number 9, E.J. Haast will join us here in hour 2. We'll talk more about the incompetence of Nashville Electric Service and the mayor of Nashville and their weird ideas as to what they're going to do about it. Number 10, Clint Brewer will be here in hour 3. Number 11, a change of pace in the program tomorrow. Ready? Because we almost always talk about politics. Tomorrow in our second hour, wait for it, we're going to talk about hot yoga. Yeah, I've been doing it for about 10 years on and off. More on now. Kyle Casserly, an entrepreneur and owner of the Hot Room in Tennessee, where in Brentwood, where I go all the time. She's going to be here in studio, talk about entrepreneurship and how hot yoga is good for you. Number 12, on Thursday, 9th anniversary of the Tennessee Star. We'll have a cake and a celebration. We'll do it 2 days, once with Crom Carmichael and Christina Botteri, and then on Thursday. And then on Friday, Roger Simon will be here. So how about that? He'll be back. Number 13, I don't know if this is going to happen. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., his press team has contacted me. They want me to do an interview with him, and I'm happy to do it. I want to do it in studio, and I've told him it's going to be a different kind of interview because I knew Robert Kennedy briefly, not well. We were in a class together, and, well, he pretty much was a heroin addict back then, and I knew he was. He's admitted that. We want to talk about how he's turned his life around 50 years later, and he really has. So that will be interesting. I don't know if that will happen, though, because, you know, they're always very fluid about that sort of stuff. Number 14, I love this story. Turning Point USA is going to hold an alternate Super Bowl halftime because, you know, the guy who hates ice, Bad Bunny, the Puerto Rican who can barely speak English, is going to be the featured halftime performer at the Super Bowl. Turning Point USA is doing Kid Rock and a bunch of other folks, an alternative. I'm going to watch that one. How about you? So there you go. That is the morning rundown. It's a pretty lengthy one for Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. Brought to you by our friends. You know who it's brought to you by? Our friends at the Glock Store. You've heard me talk about them for years. And Lenny McGill, the CEO and founder, it says, you know, they've got the latest Glocks in, Gen 6s. Lenny says they've got all cool stuff, a new optic system, RTF6 texturing and enlarged beaver tail, flat face trigger guard undercut, and an integrated thumb rest, also known as the gas pedal. I don't know much about what all that is, but Lenny does. In fact, Lenny tells me the Gen 6 Glocks are definitely the most refined Glocks ever produced. And as you might expect, the Glock Store has already received their first shipment of Gen 6 G17s, 19s, and 45s, but they were gone before they even got to the warehouse. That's because the Glock Store is letting you pre-order these new Glocks, so you'll be the first one to get your hands on it. As a thank you for your pre-order, you'll get an extra magazine when you receive your new Gen 6 Glock. Here's what you do. You ready? Number 1, go to theglockstore.com. Number 2, click on the Gen 6 tab at the top of the website. Number 3, place your pre-order for the Glock or Glocks of your choice. When they ship your new Glock to the FFL of your choice, or you pick it up at the Glock Store retail showroom here in Nashville, the Glock Store will throw in an extra magazine. This is a limited time offer only for pre-orders and only from my friends at the Glock Store, the number 1 source for Glock parts, accessories, and the new Gen 6 Glocks. Visit Glockstore.com today. If you go in the store, tell them Michael Patrick Leahy sent you. All right. State of the state last night. Bill Lee's last year's governor. He's going to finish strong. And this clip tells you one of his main focuses, which is school choice. Clip 3. I think we have it. Bill, where are you? I think you're coming. Do we have Bill Lee? I guess not. We are having an audio playtime here. Our audio is not working, and So we'll go on to a couple of other things here. Is it that one in particular, or just in general? Our audio is womp womp womp. We'll try another one. We'll see if this one works. Bill Lee, clip 2, talking about the Memphis Safe Task Force, clip 2. We have no audio. All right. Well, we've made a few adjustments, and this might have something to do with it. Let's try do we have anything else going on the audio? Let's try one more. Let's see if we can get clip 1. Clip 1, Marsha Blackburn. There we go. Well, we got the audio coming out of one place, but not going to another place. All right. So, anyways, what else do we have going on here today? Well, we'll get the audio fixed during the break. And we are going to be talking with Tom Pappert a lot about what's going on with Nashville Electric Service. And that is a disaster, an absolute weaselly disaster led by the biggest weasel of all, Freddie O'Connell. So we'll be back with more after this. You're listening to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. By the way, you can call in 615-814-2848, 615-814-2848, and tell us your name, the state of your residence, and your topic. Back after this.
Ponder this. I was having lunch with a friend who was also interested in learning more about the Catholic faith in order to possibly convert. This friend also shared with me that she hated the President of the United States, Donald Trump. After further discussion, I mentioned to her that you cannot hate another person and be a Christian of any denomination. Hate is incompatible with loving Christ. Hate is not Christian no matter who our neighbor is. Sacred Scripture clearly states that as long as we love one another, God remains in us. The inverse is also true. God cannot be in us if we do not love others, and that means everyone. God gave us 2 great commandments, to love Him and to love our neighbor. All other commandments flow from these 2. Loving our neighbor means loving those who especially are difficult to love. Let's start today by loving those around us that are particularly difficult to love. I'm Susie Kelly, and I am passionately Catholic.
1775 Coffee is giving away free starter kits. Try the dark or medium roast coffee with longevity blend, an infused blend with anti-aging supplements clinically proven to reduce biological age. When you purchase the first 2 bags, you'll receive a free 1775 starter kit, including a third 16-ounce bag of coffee, a matte black tumbler, a frother, a gold scoop, or a reusable K-cup filter. Just order now at 1775coffee.com/Godzilla and claim your free 1775 starter kit while supplies last.
The math is simple. Every dollar we waste on unnecessary federal supervision is a dollar we can't use to fight violent crime. The Safer Supervision Act cuts bureaucratic waste and frees up law enforcement resources to protect families from serious threats. Law enforcement officers across the country and Republicans in Congress agree this is a smarter way to improve public safety. Stop the waste, protect our communities, fix federal supervision. Visit safersupervision.com to help. Paid for by the Reform Action Fund.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55, but unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
I'm Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of GlockStore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported the Second Amendment rights of free men and women to protect themselves and their families with firearms. We offer the very best in both selection and prices on Glock handguns, custom Glocks, Glock magazines, and high-performance shooting accessories at GlockStore.com. We also have the finest retail showroom and our Shoot 270 shoot rooms right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Come visit us at GlockStore.com, and you'll be glad you did.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Welcome back. Hey, I don't know if you know this, but the Super Bowl will be held on Sunday. Yes, the New England Patriots will be playing the Seattle Seahawks in Santa Clara, California. And I guess the Seahawks are favored by 4 or 5 points. But the big story here is the halftime game. And there's this weird performer by the name of Bad Bunny, who is like, apparently goes around wearing dresses and promoting LGBT stuff. He's from Puerto Rico. He can barely speak English. As a Puerto Rican, he's an American citizen. It's a territory, not a state. And he hates ICE. Hates ICE. Now, remember now, what is ICE doing? They're enforcing immigration laws. And they are rounding up rapists, killers, murderers, kidnappers, thieves, and that have final deportation orders, and they're throwing them out of the country. You would think that everybody would be in favor of that. No. So Bad Bunny at the Grammy Awards Sunday night, which I didn't watch, but I've got these clips here. I'm going to play it for you in a bit. Remember, this is the halftime performer at the Super Bowl that's coming up on Sunday. And this guy hates half of America. Clip 9. Let's play what he had to say when he got his Emmy Award.
I'm going to say, eyes out.
And all the lefty, entertainers going crazy. By the way, Ketanji Brown Jackson was there too, by the way. Oh, they let him. Oh, eyes out, he says. Because they're all in favor of pedophiles and rapists and murderers staying in the United States of America. That's Hollywood for you.
We're not savage, we're not animals, we're not aliens, we are humans, and we are Americans.
Okay, so there are 30 million illegal aliens that are not Americans. That's the whole point. That's why Donald Trump got reelected. More from Bad Bunny, the Puerto Rican. Do we have Bad Bunny? Yeah.
We're not savage, we're not animals, we're not aliens, we are humans, and we are Americans.
No, they're not. The ones being deported are not.
Also, I want to say to the people, I know it's tough to not to hate on these days. And I was thinking, sometime we get contaminados. I don't know how to say that in English.
Okay, so here's a guy. He doesn't know how to say things in English, but he's going to tell us that we can't enforce immigration laws. I don't think so. The NFL is pretty woke, I'm sorry to say. The leadership. Roger Goodell, who makes $30 million a year, the NFL has been very successful. The game is great, but the managers at the top they chose to have this anti-American Bad Bunny guy as their halftime show. Here's clip 5. Roger Goodell, after Bad Bunny goes up and insults more than half of America by saying, "Ice out." Here's what Roger Goodell, the genius, has to say about that.
Bad Bunny made a pretty clear anti-ICE statement at the Grammys last night. What are you expecting in terms of political statement, whether that's from Bad Bunny or Green Day or any of the other performers?
On your first question, security is obviously one of the things we focus on the most. It's a Tier 1 level event that involves unique assets at the federal level, the state level, and the local level, all working together. I see no change in that in the preparations for the Super Bowl. We've not seen that. We're working with all 3 of those levels and doing everything we can to make sure it's a safe environment. And the federal government is a big part of that, including this administration, every other administration before that. I think Tier 1 is probably been the category we've had since at least the turn of the century, if not before that. So I just anticipate we'll continue to do the work to make it the safest event. On your second question, I think everybody listen, Bad Bunny is, and I think that was demonstrated last night, one of the great artists in the world. And that's one of the reasons we chose him. But the other reason is he understood the platform he was on, and that this platform is used to unite people and to be able to bring people together with their creativity, with their talents, and to be able to use this moment to do that. And I think artists in the past have done that. I think Bad Bunny understands that, and I think he'll have a...
Okay, let's just stop. What a bunch of BS that is. He's going to use his platform to unite people. You kidding me? On Sunday night, a week before, he's attacking the policies of the current president of the United States, misrepresenting how the president got elected. Yeah, we want illegal alien criminals out of the United States. Deport them. Get them out of there. And Roger Goodell, I can't believe this guy is actually the commissioner of the NFL. Well, the owners like him because they're making a lot of money, but they're pushing left-wing propaganda. Terrible. Hey, there's an alternative, though. And by the way, we got to get the details of how to watch this alternative show. Turning Point USA, Kid Rock, they are doing an alternative halftime show. I'm going to be watching the alternative show. I'm going to turn the channel for 20 minutes or half an hour during halftime. Clip 20, here's the Turning Point USA alternative.
All right, are you focused on the halftime show for the Super Bowl? It seems like it. You want to tell the audience what's up?
Yeah, well, thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, we made the big announcement today. We've got Kid Rock, Brantley Gilbert, Bryce Lee, and it's going to be an amazing, amazing show. And we're going up against the big guys, little David and Goliath, but I like our chances. A lot of people reacted pretty well today.
All right, so how do we stream that? How do people get that?
It's going to be all over X. It's going to be all over YouTube, all over Rumble. Check it out there. We've got a bunch of partners that are going to be taking it live. So if you've got your YouTube app, you've got your X open, fire it up right in the middle, right in a halftime show with some other thing that's going on. When it's going to be fun for the whole family. Made for TV concert, Jesse. The other thing is in the middle of a big stadium, you're so far away. This is going to put you right in the action, high octane. It's going to be can't miss entertainment, I can assure you.
All right. Well, if Kid
okay,
Rock...
so here's the deal. Here's what I'm going to do. Halftime, I'm going to have my YouTube X Live ready to go, and I'm going to switch it. And all you do is just do a search for Turning Point USA Alternative Halftime Show. It'll show up. Turn it on, listen to it, and let's get some great numbers. And let's let Bad Bunny just go into nowhere land with his stupid show. He's supposedly going to wear a pink dress or something because he's LGBTQ friendly. He's not America friendly. He's LGBTQ friendly. Speaking of which, we got a couple more clips. I think I can get them in here. Billie Eilish had a word to say, and Scott Jennings kind of clipped her wings. Clip 6.
Last night at the Grammy Awards, singer Billie Eilish, pretty famous person, had this to say. Here's cut 1.
No one is illegal on stolen land.
And
Oh, I think, do we have a bad word?
it's just really hard to know what to say and what to do right now.
Okay, let's put her on mute till he comes back, because I think she says a bad word. I think she says blank ice. Okay, so we have her on mute. There she is. You can watch her. Okay, well, I'm waiting. We got to keep our FCC license here because they always drop bad words. I don't know. Okay, let's clip it back.
That
Here's Scott.
sound dropout that you heard was Billie Eilish making a profane statement against ICE, by the way. Starts with an F, ends with a U. Very classy way to talk about the police, Billie. What does she mean by stolen land? Radical communists like Billie Eilish, who profits handsomely, I might add, from American capitalism, believe that America was stolen from the Native Americans, meaning that we have no right to enforce laws today, chiefly immigration laws. By the way, Billie Eilish lives in a $14 million mansion in Los Angeles on property that was once inhabited by the Tongva tribe.
Oh, is she going to give it back? She's not giving it back. All right, let's go now. The other weird story. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson was there in the audience. You know, she loves theater. And she did not step away when Bad Bunny said, you know, ice out. Here we go. Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Just want to say congratulations. This is a special one to first-time Grammy nominee who's in the house here, Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. That's right. She was nominated in the audiobook category. And with her being here, you know what that means. For the first time ever, if you lose a Grammy, you can appeal directly to the Supreme Court.
All right, you know, what is she doing there? If the other justices are going saying, what a joke you are, Ketanji Brown Jackson. Hey, when we come back, Tom Pappert. I'm Michael Patrick Leahy. What's going on with Fidel Freddy here in Nashville?
Now more than ever, it's imperative to support companies that share our conservative values. That's why I can't be more excited to tell you that I've switched my family to Patriot Mobile. Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you shift your support away from the leftist, woke, progressive agendas of Big Mobile. Patriot Mobile's wireless service works perfectly and seamlessly as you go about your lives with exceptional nationwide coverage that uses the same towers the main carriers use. Patriot Mobile donates a portion of every dollar earned to causes you care about, to organizations that fight for religious freedom, First and Second Amendment, sanctity of life, and the needs of veterans and first responders. Patriot Mobile has plans to fit any budget, along with great discounts for our veterans and first responder heroes, as well as multi-line users. Switching is easy. Just go to patriotmobile.com/Godzilla or call their U.S.-based customer service team, 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-728-7468. Use offer code Godzilla for free activation.
Did you ever stop and think, why do the wealthy pay less taxes than we do? One reason, they take full advantage of the IRS tax code. Today's tax code is over 2 million pages. Who can read that? Remember the 2016 debate with Hillary Clinton? When asked why he doesn't pay more taxes, President Trump had the perfect answer. He said, if you don't like the current tax code, change it. I follow the very laws that you wrote. That's where Julio Gonzalez and his company, Tax Engineered Services, comes in. Julio's team looks at your taxes after they're done, but before you file them with the IRS. He doesn't get between you and your accountant. He reviews your taxes, makes his recommendations, and only gets 5 to 10% of what he saved you. No money up front, no cost. It's tax literacy for MAGA. He also sees what grants you may qualify for. For more information, text ETS to the number 26786. That's ETS to 26786. Text now.
Do you think workers in Virginia should be forced to pay union dues and fees just to get or keep a job? For 80% of Virginians, the answer is no. That's why Virginia's right-to-work law is so popular. Unfortunately, special interest lobbyists in Richmond are seeking to repeal right-to-work in Virginia. With the General Assembly back, it is vital to tell your legislators and Governor Abigail Spanberger to oppose forced unionism and protect right-to-work in Virginia. Sign your petition today at virginiarighttowork.com. That's virginiarighttowork.com. The National Right to Work Committee paid for this ad. Is your pet ready for some pawsome fun? At Creekside Pet Hotel in Kennesaw, every day is a tail-wagging adventure. Whether they're romping with friends in day camp, enjoying a staycation in our cozy boarding, or getting pampered in our luxury spa, we make sure every furry guest gets the royal treatment. Happy pets, wagging tails, and the best care. What more could they ask for? Book your pet's perfect getaway today at creeksidepethotel.com or give us a call at 770-422-4700.
My fellow Americans, I have to tell you about my good friends at D.T. McCall & Sons. They have furniture and appliances and a lot more. They've been family-owned in Middle Tennessee for over 100 years, and they're not going to rip you off. No hidden charges, no delivery charges, no charges for all of the crazy things. These are sick people at the lumber yards. These are very sick people. They charge you for cords and hoses and haul off. They charge you for all of these things. They call them hidden charges. It's the type of surprise that you don't want to see. It's like an October surprise, but it's worse. D.T. McCall & Sons, they're not going to do that. They're great people. They're going to give you a great deal. With locations in Lebanon, Carthage, Lafayette, Cookeville, and Franklin, D.T. McCall & Sons will give you the deal of your life. Check them out today or go to dtmccalls.com.
Impersonator not endorsed by Donald Trump.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Welcome back. We are joined on our Zoom Newsmaker line right now by our lead political reporter, Dow Prize winner for the best local journalism in the country, along with yours truly and our executive editor, Christina Botteri, the one, the only, Tom Pappert. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Michael.
We are small but mighty because our reporting on all of the travesties and the mismanagement of this storm by Nashville Electric Service, our reporting has led the way. Everybody is following our lead. In particular, our reporting that the NES CEO, Teresa Broyles-Applin, Broyles-Applin, got to get that Applin in there, approved a reduction in tree trimming by $7 million, and that the tree trimming expenditures for NES were far below the national average. And they spent, all this money on DEI, had 102 training sessions on it. And today, what are we, day 9, and still, 17,000 people in Nashville still without power. But Tom, don't worry. The mayor of Nashville, who I refer to as the weak weasel, Fidel Freddie O'Connell, has an answer. Would you like to know what that answer is?
I'm afraid to hear it.
He's going to form a 9-member commission. And they're going to look at what happened, right? And on that commission, the vice mayor, Angie Henderson, who did a undergraduate degree at Bryn Mawr or someplace like that on urban growth, because she's going to know an awful lot about electric utilities. And then another hack from the council. And then 7 people that he selects. They're going to spend a year fulminating, gazing at their navels, and figuring out, what really happened. Tom, you've already reported what happens. It seems to me it's very clear that the Nashville board, 5-member board of Nashville Electric Service, is composed of people who don't know anything about electric utility. They hired an accountant, a woke accountant who wants to protect the tree canopy, Teresa Broyles-Applin, who they pay, I guess, like $350,000 a year. And the guy who's in charge of vegetation management retired in November, and they didn't replace him. Very clear what has to happen. If the weak weasel, Fidel Freddie O'Connell, the mayor of Nashville, had any cojones, the guy would say, okay, Teresa Broyles-Applin, you must resign today, and all 5 board members must resign. But Tom Pappert, he's not doing that. Your thoughts?
I think that Freddie O'Connell has once again found a political solution to a very real and dangerous problem. He knows that the radical activist base is already turned on him. They don't like that he couldn't protect the illegal aliens from ICE last year. And now he knows that the moderate Democrats, who are probably the ones really responsible for his election, they have no reason to support him after seeing him fail to achieve any sort of competence during this storm response. So I think Freddie O'Connell thought, how can I make this issue get safely beyond the election? I know we'll form a commission, the O'Connell Commission. And the O'Connell Commission will be staffed with 7 people appointed by Freddie O'Connell, and it will take a year or more. Because, Michael, the commission actually doesn't meet until up to 14 days after the emergency is over. Well, power isn't even going to be restored until the 9th. So when is 14 days after the emergency is over? And then they don't have to submit their first report until 6 months after their first meeting. So you're talking August of this year at the very earliest. And whenever they might have the final report, it could be March of 2027. I think if Nashvillians knew that the mayor's big master plan to save the city and keep this from ever happening again, if they knew it was going to take over a year and it might not even be ready for next winter, they would probably lose a little bit more faith in old Fidel Freddie.
Yeah, he's a weak weasel. And Freddie, by the way, you're welcome to come on and defend yourself against my valid assertion that you are a weak weasel and partially responsible for this tremendous outage of power and loss of life and loss of economic activity by small business, devastating for so many small businesses. You know, you saw the story that's out there of a plant, small business that had a bunch of plants, and they got all frozen during the outage, and they went to the insurance company and said, "Hey, we've got $100,000 of inventory we lost." The insurance company apparently wouldn't pay it because they called it spoilage and not a disaster. There's a GoFundMe for them, and I think the insurance company may cave. But the point is, that's just one small business. Think of all the restaurants out there. Look at all the economic damage here. It's just incredible. And Freddie O'Connell, this tells you this. He's an Ivy League graduate. Now, he went to Brown, which is almost as bad as Columbia. They're all bad now. But the guy cannot manage his way out of a paper bag. You saw him doing that press op, right? For like about 10 minutes.
Where he's holding the tree and it looks like he's about to collapse under its weight as he's got 2 people helping him.
Not only that, I mean, this is how bad he is. It's like, freezing out. He's not wearing a hat. He's not wearing gloves. He's wearing a jacket that's not appropriate for that level of weather. It totally screams photo op. The guy lacks self-awareness. He doesn't, and I think it's because he went to an Ivy League school and he's been a leftist propagandist for his whole career. That's how he became mayor. Yakety yak, don't talk back and don't get anything done. And I think his idea here is rather than exercising the executive authority in his power, it might be disputed whether he could fire Teresa Broyles-Applin or fire the board of directors, but he could certainly call for their resignation immediately, put the pressure on. What are they going to do? Oh, you can't fire me? I think he could get them out, and that's what needs to happen. They need to get a couple things in National Electric Service. Number one, they need somebody who actually understands utilities to run it. Number two, they need a board consisting of people who understand utilities. And number three, 20% of their customers live outside Davidson County. They need to be outside of that system. They need to be sold off to Middle Tennessee Electric. And I think the Tennessee General Assembly really needs to look at the charter, because clearly they are not fulfilling the charter of providing power to residents of Nashville and the surrounding areas. Your thoughts on that, Tom Pappert?
Well, Michael, there's an immediate breakdown, and that is, as we've said before, the board seems to be a social club at NES. You have the head of the Urban League of Nashville, the former mayor's wife, and if you look at the other people, their biographies are generally, this person loves being on boards. He's on 9 different boards. He's been on 20 since he became an adult. It's a social club for people who share the politics of City Hall in Nashville. That is my belief, at least. And so if Mayor Freddie O'Connell were to fire them or even demand their resignations, I think what Freddie is worried about is the political ramifications. Would this hurt him with the demographics of voters represented by each board member? And so the weak leadership remark is exactly right. He doesn't have the guts to do what's right.
He doesn't have the guts, but he also doesn't have the common sense. I mean, you look at the whole thing, just how ridiculous the response has been, just how not focused on getting things done he's been. Teresa Broyles-Applin have been. And PR. Let me play this clip, the latest "We've exceeded expectations" clip from the dead eyes of Teresa Broyles-Applin. Let's play this clip right now.
Hello. I'm Teresa Broyles-Applin, President and CEO of Nashville Electric Service. Tremendous progress has been made today in terms of restoring power and collaborating with city leaders for a path forward. We committed to bringing you estimated restoration projections, and I can report that we made up ground and are now ahead of expectations.
Okay, I got to stop right there. By the way, did you see what she did? She's got her Debbie Wasserman Schultz hairdo, with the wet curly thing out of the shower. That's back.
Right.
She's been listening to our criticism, right?
Well, and you notice also, Michael, they have the same set. Our listeners can't see this, obviously, but she's standing before the control center, the nerve center of NES. And last video, she had one guy walking around. Now they have 2 guys in the control center monitoring the 20 monitors that I counted. They're up to 2, Michael, 100% improvement.
Yeah, and we keep getting all these reports off of X from various folks that say, well, they've talked to, the linemen out there, and a lot of that, a lot of the linemen out there, the guys are doing a good job. They're doing a good job, but the management is so screwed up. A lot of this is performative. I mean, I've got reports of people saying, yeah, they've seen the NES crews out there. They're sitting in their trucks waiting for somebody to tell them what to do. Then the latest is, here we are 9 days into this, and what's the big news? Oh, we've got 500 more linemen. How do they say this stuff with a straight face, Tom Pappert?
Well, it's a great question. And by the way, I don't understand the point. They keep adding linemen. And as you said, linemen do great work. It's dangerous work. It's hard work. But we keep getting these images sent to us. One was just sent to us on Twitter like less than an hour ago, showing a fleet of linemen and their vehicles sitting in a parking lot awaiting instructions. So it doesn't seem as though bringing these people into Nashville is making any sort of real impact. In fact, they were saying early on that the issue was the lack of engineers who understood the Metro Nashville NES grid, because it is the top 11 grids in the United States. It's a very big and complicated system. So you're right. I think it is performative. I think they're bringing these people in so that she can look a little bit better in these ridiculous scripted videos. And by the way, we keep showing these videos. How different was it from the Middle Tennessee electrical videos where it's a guy talking into his phone and uploading it to social media without any sort of scripting or interceding? This is so well produced. She's got like a studio quality camera. The backdrop is the nerve center of the electric company. It comes across as very fake. And I think this is a real problem the Democrats have in general, is there's no authenticity on that side.
Hey, Tom, stick around when we come back. Nashville is a music city, right? John Rich put a little tune together that describes the whole situation. I'm going to play the whole thing for you and then get your reaction. Back with Tom Pappert after this.
In 2008, the amount of concentrated time people could spend on a task without becoming distracted was 12 seconds. 5 years later, it was only 8 seconds, 1 second less than a goldfish. If you're often distracted or have trouble recalling information, you're likely to fall behind in the demanding, fast-paced 21st century. In other words, brain performance is more critical now than ever. Boost your brain power with Healthy Cells Focus Plus Recall. Science-backed nootropics to help you sharpen focus, concentrate longer, enhance recall, improve mental speed, learn rapidly, and be more alert. It's a pill-free brain supplement made with maximum absorption ingestible gel technology, designed to feed your brain at the cellular level. Take it for a test drive. Go to healthycell.com and use code GODZILLA for 20% off your first order of Focus Plus Recall. That's healthycell.com, code GODZILLA for 20% off.
1775 Coffee is giving away free starter kits. Try the dark or medium roast coffee with longevity blend, an infused blend with anti-aging calcium alpha-ketoglutarate, which has been clinically proven to reduce biological age. When you purchase the first 2 bags, you'll receive a free 1775 starter kit, including a third 16-ounce bag of coffee, a matte black tumbler, a frother, a gold scoop, or a reusable K-cup filter. Just order now at 1775coffee.com/Godzilla and claim your free 1775 starter kit while supplies last.
What happens in Virginia doesn't stay in Virginia. It influences policy and policymakers nationwide. The VirginiaStar.com shines a light on the issues in VA that become issues for the USA, with insightful commentary that gets to the fact of the matter. The VirginiaStar.com is your source of wisdom and truth, locally, statewide, and nationally. Log on today and every day. The VirginiaStar.com. The VirginiaStar.com. The Cats and Cosby Show.
It's a common sense recap of the big stories.
It's not that all Somalis are criminal. It's just that 90% of these crimes are being committed by Somali Americans. And if you came to this country and you took advantage of the Americans' generosity, you committed fraud, and you refused to assimilate, you know what? I got 4 words for you. Get the hell out.
Cats and Cosby, 5 Eastern, 4 Central on the John Fredericks Media Network.
The book needs to be thrown at these people.
What if you had a plan to build income outside your job? At Lifestyles Unlimited, you'll learn how people are investing in real estate to grow their income and make smarter financial choices one property at a time. Right now, join us for just $297. That's a savings of $443 off our real estate education program. Text RADIO to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
Hey there, it's Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of GlockStore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported our Second Amendment rights with GlockStore.com, the world's #1 source for Glock handguns, parts, and accessories. I also support accurate, unbiased journalism like The Michael Patrick Leahy Show. His team broke the Kilmar Abrego Garcia traffic stop and was the first to obtain that video. Independent journalism at its finest. Visit us at GlockStore.com, listen to Michael Patrick Leahy, and make America great again.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Welcome back. Well, you know, Tom Pappert, our guest on our Zoom newsmaker line right now. Nashville is, after all, Music City. I want to compare and contrast. A tale of two musicians, right? John Rich, who is authentic, and then that old, washed-up lefty Bruce Springsteen, who is cringeworthy. But I want to play the entire John Rich Global Warming is Freezing Us to Death song. It's about 1:50. It's great. And John, of course, is a friend of the program. But let's play this, and then I want to get your reaction.
20 years ago, a rich fat man from Tennessee
told the world the ice caps would all melt into the sea. And gasoline and diesel would be the end of you and me. Now the fat man burns $100 bills, laughing while we freeze. Hey, Al Gore, are you still sure the planet's burning up? 'Cause everywhere I go, it's awfully cold and the pipes are freezing shut. And in my house, when I lay down, I can almost see my breath. Yeah, global warming is freezing us to death. Al and all his experts had to save us from ourselves, so they made us drive electric cars and put windmills everywhere. Well, I guess they did too good a job, 'cause just look around my town, 'cause the ice is piling up and now the trees are falling down. Hey, Al Gore, are you still sure the planet's burning up? 'Cause everywhere I go, it's awfully cold and the pipes are freezing shut. And in my house, when I lay down, I can almost see my breath. Global warming is freezing us to death. Yes, global warming is freezing us to death.
So Tom, I know where John filmed that. I mean, he's got a house in Nashville, not too far from West End, and I won't tell exactly where it is, but I've been there. It's a fabulous place. It's like 10 stories high. The first two floors are like an entertainment center, and he gives concerts. It's just like, it's great. That was a great time.
And I will say, he must have a very good grounds crew, because unlike other parts of Nashville, those trees looked very well trimmed.
I think you're right. What a great song. Now, Tom, I want to contrast this with the very old, washed up, out of ideas leftist Bruce Springsteen. I can't play very much of it because it's so cringeworthy, but he did this song. I guess it's him. It sounded a little AI-ish, but he did this song about ice in Minnesota, the anti-ice protest. Let's begin this, and we'll do it for as long as I can bear it.
Through the winter's ice and cold, down Nicollet Avenue, a city of flame fought fire and ice neath an occupier's boots. King Trump's private army from the DHS, guns belted to their coats, came to Minneapolis to enforce the law, or so their story goes.
Okay, I can't take any more. Tom, does anything say washed up like that production by Bruce Springsteen? Allegedly born in the USA.
That was so sad. You know, when you turn like 70, it's time to take the ear piercings out, man.
Really? Yeah, he doesn't realize it. He's like all of those washed up, barely getting along boomers in the 70s, in their 70s with white, gray hair, shuffling along, singing bad protest songs. I mean, he's that bad. Unbelievable.
Well, and by the way, of course, we would be remiss if we didn't compare John Rich, who goes into his backyard, sets a phone 5 feet in front of him, and plays his acoustic guitar. He's got his dogs walking around the background. There's no production. There's no film crew. There's no anything. And then you have the rock and roll legend, who gets a studio booked, has probably some Hollywood film editor put this thing together with protest footage. Again, there's no authenticity on the left. They are deeply fake and scripted people.
I think I'll try to get Bruce on the show. What do you think? Do you think he'll come on? Yeah. I tried to get
Maybe if you lie to him and say, this is the NPR station.
You're listening to NPR. No. So Tom, I'll tell you what. I tried to get Ben Stiller on, all right? Because he filmed the Escape at Dannemora, a town I grew up in. When the phone didn't ring, I knew it was Ben Stiller. And Bruce Springsteen, you know, he actually won't talk to a real American born in the USA. He's got to go. He and Bad Bunny need to hang out, don't you think? Oh my God.
Well, I'm surprised that they're not going to do a co-main event for the Super Bowl. Maybe that's what he's doing with this music.
Up next,
trying to get his relevance back.
I think what they're going to try and do is Bad Bunny will be there in his pink dress, and Bruce Springsteen will come out and wear a purple dress, right, to try to be relevant. Oh my goodness! All right, thanks, Sam. Great work. Appreciate you. Hey, up next,
thank you, Michael.
The one, the only official guest host of the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. E.J. Haast is in the house. Back after this.
Is a record player the best way to listen to music? Of course not. So why are you still taking vitamins in pill form that haven't been upgraded since the 1930s? Even if you don't have trouble swallowing, most vitamins in pill form can't be absorbed very well. It's time to upgrade to the pill-free future of vitamins. Advanced nutrition company, Healthy Cell, created a patent-pending ingestible gel that is clinically proven to have 265% the absorption rate of tablets. These physician-formulated supplements come in a small gel pack. You tear off the top and shoot it down. You can also mix it in water. They taste great, they're convenient on the go, and they're more natural too, without chemical binders, fillers, and coatings. Go to healthycell.com and use code GODZILLA for 20% off your first order of any product. That's healthycell.com. HEALTHYCELL.com.
Trump 2.0 is in full effect. How do you keep up with all the action? I'll tell you. TrumpNationNews.com is your inside source for the inside scoop. Manufacturing, jobs, deportations, and the nation's rejuvenation. The first 100 days and beyond. All the news you need and no liberal gibberish. It's the perfect way to start your day. Sign up for the TNN newsletter. Do it today. TrumpNationNews.com. TrumpNationNews.com. Part of the John Fredericks Media Network.
John Fredericks loves his radio and TV audience, but did you know how to follow the Godzilla of Truth wherever you go? Download the John Fredericks Radio Show app to listen live nationwide. For the daily chit-chat, Trucking the Truth, download the Getter app and join the morning fun on Getter Live from 6 to 10 a.m. Follow John Fredericks on Getter, Truth Social, or Twitter at JF Radio.
WJFN W224EB 92.7 FM Chester, W299DB 107.7 Bon Air, 100.5 FM Goochland, and WJFB.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. Once again, a judge is stepping in to block an action by the Trump administration, and the White House vows an appeal. This time it has to do with hundreds of thousands of Haitians facing the prospect of being sent back to their homeland.
Temporary protected status has allowed roughly 350,000 Haitians to live and work in the U.S. It's a designation that can be granted by the Secretary of Homeland Security if conditions in a country are deemed unsafe for return due to natural disaster, political instability, or other dangers. Homeland Security says Haiti's TPS was granted following an earthquake that took place over 15 years ago. It was set to end Tuesday after Secretary Kristi Noem determined conditions had improved and Haiti was now safe.
Correspondent Ben Thomas. Apparently, the Clintons have had a change of heart. Bill and Hillary Clinton now say they will testify in a House investigation focusing on the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The Iranian president directing his foreign minister to seek out talks with the U.S.
This move by Masoud Pezeshkian comes as tensions are very high between Washington and Tehran. That's because of Iran's bloody crackdown on nationwide protests last month that are believed to have killed thousands of people. Now, Pezeshkian said he had ordered Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi to have these talks. He said that they would be conducted if they could be in a fair manner and in a site that would be also fair to the Iranians.
Correspondent John Gambrell. President Trump has announced a big new trade and tariffs deal with India. As part of the deal, the president says India has agreed to stop buying oil from Russia. Stocks are mixed on Wall Street, with the Dow up 44 points, while the Nasdaq is down 227 points, and the S&P 29 points lower. More on these stories, townhall.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The stock market is at an all-time high. The dollar is under pressure, and leading economists are warning that the global financial system is changing. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000 right now to get your free gold investment guide, plus your free copy of economist Ken Rogoff's book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. Find out about a tax and penalty-free rollover in 2026. Gold and silver can surge when the economy shifts, and they don't wait for permission. Consult your financial advisor before investing. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000.
Police in Japan have arrested those in charge of a high-profile agency that helps people to quit their jobs.
The company Momori, meaning I can't take it anymore in Japanese, was founded in 2022, promising to help often young disgruntled employees leave their jobs by speaking to their bosses on their behalf. The service has been used by 40,000 people who sought to avoid confrontation in a country where quitting can in some circumstances be seen as a betrayal of a company and colleagues, a sense which analysts say has been compounded by increasing labour shortages. But Momori's success appears to have run dry. It's alleged the company had been procuring legal support for clients without being a licensed law firm.
The BBC's Will Leonardo. Ukrainian President Zelensky says that Russia has launched a major attack on Ukraine with around 450 drones and 70 missiles. The strikes come as NATO Secretary General visited Kiev. News and analysis, townhall.com. A legendary work of art is going to be getting some much-needed TLC.
Michelangelo's The Last Judgment is undergoing its first major restoration in 3 decades. The imposing fresco dominates the Sistine Chapel. The chapel will remain open to visitors during the 3-month cleaning. The Vatican Museum said in a statement on Monday that the scaffolding will partially obscure the view of the fresco. The cleaning will remove microparticle buildup on the plaster from so many people visiting each day. Keith Peters, Washington.
Authorities believe 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie, was kidnapped, abducted, or otherwise taken against her will from her Tucson area home. The sheriff says it's imperative that she's found soon because without her medication, she could die. Nancy Guthrie last seen around 9:30 p.m. Saturday at her home where she lived alone. More on these stories, townhall.com.
It's the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, broadcasting live from downtown Nashville. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. In studio, the official guest host of the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, a refugee from Minnesota Stein, our very own EJ Haas. Good morning, EJ.
Good morning.
You're a football fan, right? You're a hockey fan mostly.
I'm a New England Patriots fan. Don't hate me for that.
Well, you're from Cape Cod, of course.
Yeah, I grew up there, so I bleed red, white, and blue. But yeah, so I'm excited but cautious because I don't want to get too excited about this weekend.
I'm rooting for the Patriots over the Seahawks, and the reason is, I mean, if you did this based upon where they're from, they're both awful, right?
Politically, yes.
Massachusetts, Seattle, and of course the NFL. We'll get to the NFL in a bit. But when I root, the game of football, and especially NFL, is a great game. It's a really good game, and it's fun to watch. Now the surrounding and the ownership and all that stuff, not so hot. But anyways, the game is really good, and I tend to root for coaches or players that I like how they do things. Mike Vrabel, terrific guy. You know, as a player, won a couple of Super Bowls with the New England. Was a great coach here at Tennessee until, Amy Adams Strunk, who's
dumbest decision ever to get rid of him. I mean, he's the kind of guy that will be your franchise coach, and now he's back where he probably belongs.
And now they've got a great quarterback, and I like actually they have Pastronaut. Josh Dobbs is the backup quarterback, right? A UT guy, the guy with the alopecia, but he literally is a rocket scientist.
Yes,
he's a great guy. So I like those guys. I like the team. So I'm rooting for the Patriots.
I mean, there's one guy on the team that I'm not so crazy about, but I just hope he catches the ball a whole lot on Sunday.
Stephon Diggs?
Yeah.
Kind of weird case.
Not my favorite. I could do without seeing Cardi B on the sidelines. Yeah.
So, yeah, Stephon Diggs has been like an all-star a wide receiver. He would, you know him because he was a Minnesota Vikings.
Right, exactly.
He made for 7 or 8 years, he's made like $20 million a year.
Yeah, and
He has,
most
like,
of that is going to go to his baby
Legal
mamas.
defense. Yeah, he's got at least 3 baby mamas. Cardi
No,
B's
it's like
one of
4
them.
in a year or something.
He's
Like,
a busy
it's-
guy.
Yeah, he's going to try and challenge Elon Musk for most babies in America.
He's highly efficient at reproducing.
Wow. It's a lot. But again,
He's
you
got
know what? I'm just for this week. I'm gonna keep all of that aside and just say, catch the ball, Stephon.
He's got a legal challenge though.
Yeah.
Because apparently, his personal chef said he tried to strangle her and beat her up.
And then Cardi B sent some texts like, "You don't want to do that."
Oh, yeah,
gosh, it's getting muddy.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
And she's yes. Hey, good luck catching the ball there, Stephon. But we'll see. I think the odds have the Seattle a favorite for 4.5 points. But
Yeah.
you know, these games are it's fun. It's a fun game to watch. However, and you told me this, and I said, really? This is crazy. So the halftime shows have been awful.
Yes, for the most part.
And there's a reason.
Yeah.
However, they certainly are not uniting, as you know, Commissioner Goodell tried to gaslight everybody yesterday by saying that, oh yeah, Bad Bunny, who says "ice out" and who hates America and wears dresses
And refuses to speak English during the American halftime show.
Yeah, he can. Yeah, he's from Puerto Rico, but he can barely speak English. I mean, come on. Anyways, that guy supposedly, right? So Goodell says he's a uniter. Well, I'm thinking, well, why did you hire this guy? Well, there's an answer. Since 2019, the NFL has partnered with Jay-Z, the rapper who's worth a ton of dough, who
married to Beyonce.
Beyonce got paid $10 million to show up and say, you give a 10-minute speech that somebody wrote
for Kamala Harris.
For Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
And
very political people, very well connected people.
Very Democrat.
Yeah.
He's basically they signed a contract with him. He personally make the final decision on who's the headliner.
Yes.
So the NFL, Commissioner Goodell, stupidly signed a contract giving away the authority to select the halftime guy.
Right. So supposedly there's like a short list, and Jay-Z has control over everything. It goes to the NFL for, and I'm doing air quotes here, approval. But what are you going to tell Jay-Z no? Go back to the drawing board and find somebody else?
Why did they sign a contract like that?
Probably because the NFL didn't have the ability to keep drawing in the talent running. I mean, it's always about the money. There's got to be some sort of financial thing where the NFL gets some money and then, Jay-Z gets some other.
The talent is leftist, we hate America types. It's always been that way since Jay-Z's been involved.
Yeah, I mean, I would say not always. I would say that
was there somebody that's been okay?
Since Jay-Z's been involved, yes, it's been definitely more controversial, but it hasn't been outwardly political quite as much as this year. Right, even going way back, think about the great musical talents that have shown up to Super Bowl halftime shows. And you remember the talent, right? I mean,
well, now let's say Dolly Parton.
Right, Dolly Parton.
A couple years ago, did a pretty good job. And I guess Jay-Z picked her. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But I also think that I like the diversity of genre because some people like rock, some people like country, some people like rap, whatever. I don't care. I actually really enjoyed the old school rap showdown a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Like all those 90s superstars, my word. I just loved that. I thought that was really fun, a throwback. But that's when rap was fun and it wasn't, quite as disgusting as it is now.
So here, I'm of a certain age, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I like football. I love watching NFL football. And I don't really root for one team or another. On any given day, I like these guys, but I like to see a good game.
Yeah.
So now we'll have a good first half, and somebody will be up, and then they'll bring in somebody I despise, Bad Bunny, LGBTQ promoting, probably wearing some pink dress or something.
Yeah,
or,
I mean, the problem I have with him is that he's angry. Like, who wants a halftime show during the best sporting spectacle outside of the Olympics, right? And it's just going to be this angry political guy. That doesn't sound fun at all.
An angry Bad Bunny.
I mean, that's not fun. It's just not fun.
Okay.
And I get it. Everybody wants you to be talking about the halftime show. It's a good, PR move to have everybody talking about it.
But I would never listen to this guy ever. No. And at least half the audience says, "Who is this guy?"
Well, and if you translate his lyrics, they're vile.
Yeah.
They're vile. It's not like his music is some it's not epic. Let's just say that. It's kind of your typical, here I am, this pop guy talking about things that have shock value. Like, you may as well have Cardi B up there doing the same thing with her crazy, disgusting lyrics.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
It's just gross.
So let me tell you what I'm going to do. Halftime comes. I'm turning the channel.
I'm
going to X, going to YouTube, and I'm going to watch the Turning Point USA halftime show.
Me too. And we're going to a Super Bowl party. And everyone is going to be encouraged to open up their phones and watch the Turning Point one.
So
instead,
here's what to do.
So that all the devices are watching it.
Here's what to do. Very important. Watch the game. When the halftime show right after the half is over.
Yep.
Turn it off, and immediately go to the YouTube or X Live and watch the halftime show of Kid Rock. And then when that's over, go back and turn on your television.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what to do.
Exactly right.
Maybe they'll get a clue. What do you think?
I was surprised to see Lee Brice is going to be on there. He's had a little bit of controversy lately, but that's.
I don't know any of these people except except for Kid Rock. Who's a Nashvilleian now, by the way.
All in on all the pop culture surrounding the Super Bowl. So
when we come back, let's you want to talk a little bit about the Nashville Electric Service debacle?
Oh, let's
do that. Back after this.
Hey folks, Al Green here for SatPhone. When you're on the go, you want to know you're connected. If it's a family vacation or an off-the-grid escape to a remote destination, having reliable communication helps you feel safe and secure. You can't afford to find yourself in a dead zone. That's why you need SatPhone. SatPhones are reliable, durable, and give you global coverage. If you can get outside, you can get in touch. It's that simple. Make calls from your SatPhone to any regular cell phone in the United States. The phones are $1,500 value, but you can get yours free. Just sign up for a 15-month plan, $94.95 a month. Get 150 minutes monthly that roll to the next month. Go 3 months without using them, that's fine. Yes, 3 months, 450 minutes, all yours. Visit SAT123.com or call 855-980-5830. SAT123.com, 855-980-5830. Get surety and security with your SatPhone. Call now.
The math is simple. Every dollar we waste on unnecessary federal supervision is a dollar we can't use to fight violent crime. The Safer Supervision Act cuts bureaucratic waste and frees up law enforcement resources to protect families from serious threats. Law enforcement officers across the country and Republicans in Congress agree this is a smarter way to improve public safety. Stop the waste, protect our communities, fix federal supervision. Visit safersupervision.com to help. Paid for by the Reform Action Fund.
It's simple. No worker should ever be forced to pay money to a union boss just to get or keep a job. That's why hardworking Virginians overwhelmingly support Right to Work and agree that forced unionism is wrong. Unfortunately, Right to Work is under threat from radical state legislators who seek to overturn right to work and grant union bosses the power to have workers fired for refusing to pay union dues. Studies show that if they succeed in repealing Virginia's right to work law, it would cost the Commonwealth over 200,000 jobs. That's why it's vital to tell your legislators and Governor Abigail Spanberger to defend right to work in Virginia. With the General Assembly now in session, it's vital you make your voice heard today. Go to VirginiaRightToWork.com and demand your legislators and Governor Spanberger oppose forced unionism and protect right to work. Defend freedom and Virginia jobs today. Sign your petition at VirginiaRightToWork.com, paid for by the National Right to Work Committee.
How much did you win at Rosie's Gaming Emporium?
Hi, I'm Jerry from Richmond. I won a $23,000 jackpot at Rosie's.
I'm Tammy. I'm from Newport News, and I just won a $5,400 jackpot from Rosie's.
Hi, my name is Kim, and I'm from West Virginia, and I won $99,000 jackpot at Rosie's.
Are you ready? Learn more about Rosie's rewards and jackpots at rosiesgaming.com. Must be 18 or older. Problem gambling? Call 1-888-532-3500.
I'm Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of Glockstore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported the Second Amendment rights of free men and women to protect themselves and their families with firearms. We offer the very best in both selection and prices on Glock handguns, custom Glocks, Glock magazines, and high-performance shooting accessories at Glockstore.com. We also have the finest retail showroom and our Shoot 270 shoot rooms right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Come visit us at Glockstore.com, and you'll be glad you did.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Welcome back. In studio, the official guest host of the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, the one, the only, E.J. Haas.
Yes, sir.
E.J., is there a more feckless mayor in America than Fidel Freddie O'Connell?
Feckless is a good word. I go back to Mayor Fry, who's in the news. He's pretty feckless.
Yeah.
You've got that chick in Boston who's
Michelle Wu.
Terrible.
And then
there's a few of them out there.
And then the kid, the woman who's 40-some-odd years old in Seattle.
Yeah.
Who can't make a living and lives off her parents, who's
Yes.
now the mayor. And then Karen Bass in L.A. and the guy in Portland. If it's a blue city, you have and Chicago's got Brendan Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
They're all feckless.
Oh, and the wacko in Miami that just got elected.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a few of them out there. But I would say Freddie could definitely compete for the gold medal in fecklessness.
I think so. Yeah, he could. He absolutely
He's pretty
could.
awful. I mean, I paid attention to him pretty carefully during the whole transit fight there because I knew that was going to be so bad. I mean, I already saw what those exact
buses.
same policies did to Minneapolis and St. Paul.
Yeah.
And so it was like a repeat. It was like, oh, I've already seen this movie and I know how it ends. So yeah, I've paid quite a bit of attention
So
to
there's
Freddie
the
O'Connell.
general rule of life. If your mayor is an Ivy League graduate, he's and you're in a blue city, he's feckless or she's feckless.
And
right?
probably skinny and looking sickly.
Yeah, that's
and
all Freddie.
Right, doesn't look well. Pretty
the
terrible
guy-
communicator.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the guy has no common sense and no leadership capabilities, no decision making. There's another word I'm going to use, but I can't use it on the air. But so here's the thing. Anybody with half a brain, not even a full brain, you have a half a brain, and you look at Nashville Electric Service,
Yep.
where the CEO is an accountant who, probably a fine accountant,
Sure.
but knows nothing about electric utilities.
Well, completely incapable of running a business of that size.
Yeah, really.
It really, that's what it comes down to. I mean, she may be very smart with
In a certain
numbers, and that's great, but you can't run a company based solely on accounting. There's a lot more to it, especially when you are the one responsible for providing power to how many people?
470,000.
And managing a budget of $270 billion
A lot
over
of
the
money.
course. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's pretty insane.
Well, here's the thing on this. I mean, the fatal flaw is to look at the numbers and say, we're going to cut back on that tree trimming because, we want to keep that canopy there. And, we did the numbers. It's there in black and white in the annual report that National Electric Service cut their tree trimming expenses, and all of their tree trimming is outsourced, right?
Right.
They don't have
partnered
anybody.
with a tree company, yes.
But they do that.
An organization,
it's
I should say.
standard for most for public utilities that they outsource tree sourcing. But the amount that you spend on it, they spend far below the national average.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of trees in Nashville, by
That's
the way.
right. Well, and it's not just that there were the trees, it's that they are trees over above ground power lines. So you look at
ground power grids.
If you look
Power
at
lines,
the
yeah.
amount of money spent over the last 5 years, and watch out, Davidson, they're coming for you for more money. I promise you, they are going to come back and say, well, we have to put some sort of assessment in here. We want to prepare for the next storm. They should have been preparing all of this time. In fact, there are line items in the budget for NES that are specific to, line maintenance and improvements, burying lines, things like that. That happens in every annual budget. And so where did that money go? Why did
it went to DEI programs?
It most likely
yeah.
did. And bloated administrative costs. I mean, if you dig into that budget, boy, you're going to find a lot of things that make you mad.
So they spent in 2024 $30 per customer on tree trimming. $30. Memphis, which didn't have any outages and had a similar, not exactly the same, similar winter storm, spent $83 per customer. Right? Also, the guy in charge of trimming the trees retired November 1st.
Yeah.
They did not replace him.
Yeah.
They were not paying attention.
No, of course not. But it wasn't just the trees, though, either. So, yes, obviously that's egregious and terrible, but they also refuse to negotiate with line workers. They've got delays in equipment making it to people. So their logistics are terrible.
There's a lot of reports also that they have used refurbished equipment like transformers that don't work.
That
blow up after you put them in.
Yep.
There are a lot of reports of that.
Yeah. So really, really terrible. I'll make this point too, because I think it's important. Their communication from the get-go was horrible. So I don't know who's responsible for the PR of NES, or for that matter, Freddie O'Connell, who's terrible. I actually know people in his office, but they should have been warning people, not just that a storm is coming, but like, what's the responsibility of the city? What's the responsibility of NES? And what's the responsibility of the homeowner? We're seeing report after report now of homeowners that are like, everybody else in my neighborhood has power, but I don't. There's a line down in my backyard, or the line from the street to my house is not connected. And the communication piece of that is, every time I report the outage, NES on their little app or on their website says, oh, we've already fixed that problem. Except they haven't.
So back to the land of woulda, shoulda, coulda. It's obvious if the mayor appoints the members of the board, 5 members.
Yep.
None of them know anything about electric utilities. And then they appoint the CEO. Right now, the mayor needs to do, if he had any leadership capability, he would make an announcement. He would call for the CEO to resign.
Sure.
And if not, he would fire her. Now, she could dispute it, but then he also needs to call for the board to resign, the entire board.
Yeah, and I think some of those things will happen in the coming months. People will leave voluntarily. But I don't see this woman holding this job for very long.
I'm not sure she's going to try to. And Freddie is so weak.
He is.
Would you like to know how weak he is?
Please tell me, how weak is Freddie O'Connell?
I'm going to solve this by getting a 9-member commission together.
Right.
And they're going to deliver a report to me in 1 year.
Because you know what always fixes everything?
A commission.
More government.
So here's the thing.
And they're going to have a budget.
And
they're going to come to you, Davidson County, and they're going to ask you for more money to fund this commission.
So here's the thing. 2 Metro Council people will be on that commission. He's going to name 7 other community leaders and experts, right?
Sure.
Like we trust. Freddie O'Connell just appointed 2 knuckleheads to be on the board of the 5-member knucklehead board.
Right.
So he doesn't trust. And this Angie Henderson, the vice mayor, will be on the board. You know what she has? She has a bachelor's degree from, wait for it, Bryn Mawr.
Okay.
Bryn Mawr, a lefty institution, in urban growth. Wah, wah.
Urban
growth. It's just, lefty crap.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, what that screams to me is smart cities.
Smart cities are stupid.
Which is aligned with Freddie's bike lanes and super sidewalks and fancy schmancy lights and things like that. So
they've got a huge liability here, financial liability.
Yeah.
Because you saw the story of one owner of a business, a plant store, who basically they had $100,000 of inventory frozen.
Yeah.
And their insurance company wouldn't pay it. They claimed.
State Farm, call them out by name.
And I don't have all the details, but they got a GoFundMe going. That is one business.
Yeah.
Think of all the restaurants, all of the small businesses that are out of power and lost a lot of dough, and it's the fault of Freddie O'Connell and Teresa Broyles-Applin.
100% correct. And when I came in here that Tuesday after the storm hit, I was really ticked off because they told us that Saturday was going to be terrible, and I was mad about the businesses that lost lots and lots of revenue generation on Saturday because it was fine. You could go if you had to a store, to a car dealership, to the bank. All of those things should have been open as normal on Saturday, and they weren't because they had the snowpocalypse. We're going to have all the 12 inches of snow, which ended up being a big fat lie. Okay, now here we are almost 2 weeks. What is it, 2 weeks later? And we're still fussing over power. If you drive through Nashville right now, first of all, it's like a war zone. There's still trees down everywhere. I expect that, right? That's like a hurricane. I've been through hurricanes before, living on the East Coast, both in Massachusetts and in Florida. This is a hurricane with ice, however. So it's going to take a little while to clean that up. However, there's still stoplights that are not working.
No kidding. Yeah. It's all bad. Okay. We're going to change the topic. Bill and Hillary Clinton, will they or won't they show up and testify as Congress says they should? Or will they possibly be charged with contempt of Congress? Steve Bannon awaits. Back after this.
Let's be real. Losing weight isn't just about looking good. It's about taking back control of your overall health. 42% of adults in America are classified as obese, and obesity is directly linked to severe health issues. If you've tried diets and different workouts with no success, it's not your fault. Big Food and Big Pharma have rigged the system against you with contradicting information, leaving you confused. But there's good news. The Wellness Company just launched Drop, a GLP-1 peptide oral drop formula developed by their chief medical board, specifically designed to support your metabolism, curb cravings, and help you shed weight. That's right. No injections, no risk of the severe side effects we're seeing with the Ozempic. Start your weight loss journey today and get $100 off, plus free shipping. Go to twc.health/Godzilla and use promo code Godzilla100. That's twc.health/Godzilla. Promo code Godzilla100. Take action today for a healthier tomorrow.
For years, the Europeans have underestimated President Trump time after time. But at every turn, he's been right. On energy, on NATO, on foreign free riding. It's time they pay up. That's why he's cracking down on foreign countries that don't pay their fair share for American medicines. Renegotiating trade deals for the prescription drugs we invent. President Trump is ending the foreign freeloading, making Europe pay their fair share.
Paid for by Americans for Limited Government. Each of us is born with 30 trillion cells that make us. These cells determine how we feel, perform, sleep, focus, and how long we live. And to live our best life, all we have to do is feed our cells properly. But most supplements don't reach our cells, keeping us from reaching our full potential. Make every cell count with Healthy Cell. Founded with a mission to empower people to take control of their own health at the most fundamental level, the cell. Dr. Vincent Gempapa, world-renowned cell researcher and medical doctor, created supplements that work at the cellular level to support immune health, better sleep, sharper focus, and healthy aging. Go to healthycell.com and use code GODZILLA for 20% off your first order of any product. That's healthycell.com, HEALTHYCELL, and use code GODZILLA for 20% off.
Is your pet ready for some possum fun? At Creekside Pet Hotel in Kennesaw, every day is a tail-wagging adventure. Whether they're romping with friends in day camp, enjoying a staycation in our cozy boarding, or getting pampered in our luxury spa, we make sure every furry guest gets the royal treatment. Happy pets, wagging tails, and the best care. What more could they ask for? Book your pet's perfect getaway today at creeksidepethotel.com or give us a call at 770-422-4700.
My fellow Americans, I was this close, very close, to buying from the lumber yards. These are sick people. But I turned my head at the last second, and I saw a big, beautiful ad for D.T. McCall's. These are highly respected people. If I had not turned my head at the last second, I would have been ripped off at some lumber yard for $200 in hidden charges, and D.T. McCall & Sons are never going to do that. They'd never do that to you. These are great people. I've known them for a long time. They have great deals, and I just have to say, nobody knows deals like I do. D.T. McCall & Sons has locations in Lebanon, Carthage, Lafayette, Cookeville, and Franklin, and they have been family-owned in Middle Tennessee for over 100 years. These are tremendous people. D.T. McCall & Sons. Check out one of their stores today.
Impersonator not endorsed by Donald Trump.
Hi, everyone. EJ Host here, founder of the Digital Footprint Management Agency and frequent guest on the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, here to tell you about GetFoundEverywhere.com. Customers are searching for your business everywhere. Google, Apple Maps, TikTok, and new AI platforms like ChatGPT and Gemini, which is a total disruptor. Traditional search engine optimization isn't dead, but it is on life support. Old tactics don't work anymore. So how can you make your business stand out? GetFoundEverywhere.com makes your business pop on over 50 search, map, review, and AI-driven platforms. With one easy dashboard, manage business profiles, social media accounts, direct messages, even texts and reviews. GetFoundEverywhere.com is affordable, boosts your visibility, and gets your business more customers. It's time to step up your game the easy way. Save time, save money, and get more customers with GetFoundEverywhere.com.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Welcome back. In studio, the official guest host of the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, the one, the only, EJ Host. Well, a deadline is looming 25 minutes from now. Bill and Hillary Clinton have been playing a game of chicken with the House Oversight Committee. They refused to testify under subpoena before the House Oversight Committee. That's called contempt of Congress. Everyone, whether you're a former president or not, has to comply with a valid subpoena from the House of Representatives. And as you know, if you're Stephen K. Bannon or Peter Navarro and you cite executive privilege, the Democrat-controlled House could care less.
That's right.
And for the first time in 50 years, two individuals, Stephen K. Bannon and Peter Navarro, were convicted of contempt of Congress.
Right.
And they both served 4 months in a federal prison.
That's right. That's right. These types of committee hearings, subpoenas, they're largely performative. I like James Comer. I feel like he's trying to do the right things. He's limited in what he can't just, write an indictment. He can't just throw them in jail. There is a process to it, and he kind of has to get through this part, and then they can refer it to the Department of Justice in order for the law to be executed on.
So the steps in the process are the House Oversight Committee all basically almost unanimously agreed to hold them in contempt of Congress. And then there's been back and forth with the lawyers. And then at the last minute, because the vote was supposed to happen tomorrow in the full House, and if the full House votes that they're in contempt of Congress, they'll refer it to the Department of Justice.
Right. The
Department of Justice then will go and convene a grand jury, indict them, prosecute them, asterisk. But before we get to that, so the Clinton attorneys first said, no, that's not a valid subpoena. Well, it's a valid subpoena.
Of course it is.
Yeah. And now they're playing games. At first they said, oh, yeah, we'll testify. But then they put conditions on it.
And the conditions are pretty wild.
They're like, yeah, you can't ask me questions. You can't,
4 hours.
4 hours.
Yep. Transcribed interview, but they get to pick the transcriber.
Yeah. Really.
So it's their little person typing away on what's being said. Location in New York City, not in D.C. Also a little weird. Bill Clinton in person, and they would like for Hillary to be a written statement.
That's not a deposition.
Right.
That's an interrogatory.
Right. And so,
I learned
but
that
here,
in civil
listen,
procedure.
I have a theory about Hillary Clinton. I don't think she is well. I think she is failing health-wise and has been for some time. Her appearances are quite calculated.
What's
she
wrong
looks
with
very
her?
stiff. Something is not quite right.
Permanent envy of President Trump? What's wrong with her?
I mean, there's some other things that maybe she does in her personal time that, would contribute to bad health. But regardless, they also want withdrawal of the subpoenas and any contempt resolutions. So if they agree to this, then no subpoenas. What? It doesn't even.
It's a power game, and
of course,
it's a
it
delay.
doesn't even make any sense.
So James Comer and Speaker Johnson have looked at this and said, "Who's the boss here? Who's your daddy? It's us, not you, Mr. Former President, not you, Madam Failed Presidential Candidate, right?" And so they say, "No, you got to show up here, and it's going to be indeterminate length, and it will be our transcriber, not yours." And they have now 21 minutes to accept that. Otherwise,
just video it, for goodness sakes. If you got nothing to hide, just get out there and tell the truth. It's done. It's over with.
you said the magic word.
If
you've got nothing to hide. So let's ask this question. Did you see that picture of Bill Clinton? I don't know if he was naked. He was naked from the waist up in a hot tub with a couple of younger ladies.
Sure.
So I don't know. Mr. Clinton, who were those ladies that you were in the hot tub with?
So
what were you doing?
Yeah, I think he knows a lot of things that could help actually put some really awful pedophilic and sex trafficking criminals behind bars. Like I believe that. However, the evidence in these 3 million documents and all of these still images, even some of the videos, I question the validity of them. They've been suppressed for so long and tampered with for so long. I believe that.
You believe that?
I believe that a lot of what we're going to see in these 3 million files is not credible in a court of law.
They have been despoiled.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Yeah.
So,
okay. This is funny. John Kennedy, the senator from.
He's a gem.
He's a gem. He was talking about Tim Walz and Hillary Clinton and comparing them. I just have to play this clip. Let's play this. Did John Kennedy comparing Tim Walz and Hillary Clinton?
Sean, number one, Governor Tim Walz. Whatever he says, believe the opposite. I'm sorry, the man learned to lie before he learned to talk. He's just a. I
can't help it. You crack me up.
Well, he's just a less a less masculine version of Hillary Clinton.
Boom, 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 boom. Mic drop time.
I mean, really. But he's not wrong. Pantsuit Hillary. She's kind of a bulldog, right? And always has been.
Rough.
Yeah, rough around the edges. But I still think it's important that they testify. I think that, there is some good information to be gotten from them.
So this whole Epstein file thing,
yeah,
where they were trying to get Donald Trump, kind of backfired on them, hasn't it? On the Democrats.
I mean, a little. They tried for the first couple of days, and by they, I mean online social media influencers, which then influence national media and cable news types, that kind of thing, the podcasts and everything. They were talking about how, oh, look at this. Donald Trump was mentioned X number of times, or, these are all the allegations against Donald Trump. Of course, they left out the other part of that, which selectively editing out the part where literally the FBI and other agencies under Democrat leaders said, no, those aren't credible, right? Like it was like a tip line or something, and angry people, literally somebody from Australia called in and said, I saw Donald Trump do blah, 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 or something like that, and turned out to be completely not true, or certainly not credible as far as evidence to be used in a court of law. So that's my big thing, is I think, and we should look at that on both sides, really. Like every piece of information in there, if there was something good enough to bring someone to court and get them, in jail, I bet it would be out by now.
So far, the biggest loser in all these Epstein files is the former Prince Andrew of England. You see, there's a picture purportedly of him in a kind of a weird situation.
Sure.
With a supine young lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lying on the floor.
Yes.
And he's kind of hovering over her.
It's
or the
pretty
person.
disgusting. I mean, it's disgusting.
It's disgusting. It looks a little weird.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think there'll be more images coming out of other people that they're going to have to explain themselves. Let's do that. I just worry that all of this is just going to ruin reputations without anybody going to jail. And I mean, I'm okay with ruining reputations of dirtbags. Don't get me wrong, but I just want to catch people who are doing this stuff right now.
So
I want to find there are pedophiles right now. There are people trafficking young girls, young boys right now.
Well, they were all in the audience at the Grammys.
Oh gosh. And clapping away for Billie Eilish.
That reminds me of the Babylon Bee headline about that. Room full of pedophiles protest ICE deporting pedophiles. That's kind of funny.
You can't write it. I mean, really, if we made a movie of this, everybody would say, that's not believable.
Yeah, I do think, though, that it's kind of sad to watch the demise of Prince Andrew. I mean, I don't know, sad, but I mean, it's
disappointing, right? Because you want statesmen, you want people who are good people to be, whether it be royal family or just your local representatives. Like, you want to believe that people are good by nature.
Well, there's some weirdness in that family because his ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, apparently she's in these email with Epstein. There was a weird report that he had a child. And she allegedly sent an email congratulating him on the child.
Odd. Very odd.
Again, just like...
But again, there's going to be so many rumors. I mean, there's this really silly rumor right now that Epstein fathered Mamdani. Now, come on, everybody. Just stop.
Really.
Just stop. There's probably good information in there that could lead to arrests. But I'm afraid it'll never, ever be enough for some people.
Yeah, but the whole Epstein thing, which people thought was going to hurt Donald Trump, didn't hurt Donald Trump at all.
Nope.
But it did, Democrats, particularly Bill Clinton.
Bill Gates.
And Bill Gates.
Bill Gates is getting hit hard with this stuff.
Now, I'm no fan of Bill Gates. Asterisk. Bill, there were rumors at Harvard when he was there as a kid.
Oh, really?
That he
Even
went
way
down
back
to
then.
He'd go to the combat zone all the time.
Got it.
That's where they had all the, risque performances.
Sure.
And you say ladies of the evening, shall we say.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, it's been pretty widely reported he had an open relationship with Melinda.
Well, he thought it was open.
Well, so did she. They had agreements that he could go away for weekends and whatever. So, whatever. It's all disgusting, debauchery, and
disgusting.
people who have too much money and really nothing to do with it.
There you go on that. Hey, one more we get back with our very good friend, E.J. Host. Back after this.
Ponder this. Are you guilty of the deadly sin of gluttony? Most people think gluttony is overeating or drinking in excess, which definitely fall under this category. But gluttony also includes consuming or doing most anything to an excess. Let's look at other ways in our modern life where we may be guilty of this deadly sin. Ponder these questions. Do you spend too much time at work while compromising your family responsibilities? Do you spend an excess amount of time engaging in entertainment like gaming, movies, or sports? Do you spend too much time in self-obsession like working out too much? Are you spending too much time in social media, scrolling throughout the day? And do you hunger for excessive material things of this world like the latest technology trends, a home that exceeds your needs, or a flashy car? Take a quick personal inventory of your day and make adjustments to address the excesses in your life. Spend more time with God in prayer, and He will help you lead a well-balanced life. I'm Susie Kelly, and I am passionately Catholic.
The Truth with John Gordon.
A strong argument can be made that we need a certain number of illegal immigrants to work menial and in some cases dangerous jobs.
Get all the truth you can handle and more.
Immigrants seem willing to do those jobs. American workers do not.
What?
I'm sorry, I just call them like I see them, folks.
Saturday, noon Eastern, 11 Central, on the stations of the John Fredericks Media Network.
I tell you the truth as best I know it.
Okay!
If you've tried everything for cheek redness or breakouts and nothing works, it's not your fault. The real cause might be deeper than you think. Introducing Clear Skin Ivermectin Cream from the Wellness Company, a prescription-strength, dermatologist-developed formula that helps reduce inflammation, balance bacteria, and restore your skin's natural glow. This triple-action cream combines 3 medical-grade ingredients for powerful results. Azelaic acid to unclog pores and fade dark spots, metronidazole to control bacterial imbalance and redness, and ivermectin to calm irritation and eliminate skin parasites that contribute to rosacea and acne. Together, these ingredients work to reduce bumps, swelling, and redness while supporting smoother, healthier, and more radiant skin over time. Formulated and compounded in the United States, this FDA-approved cream is trusted by doctors for visible and lasting results. Experience clear, confident skin with the Wellness Company's Clear Skin Ivermectin Cream. U.S. residents only. Head to twc.health/Godzilla and use code Godzilla to save $20 off, plus free shipping.
The Cats and Cosby Show.
It's a common sense recap of the big stories.
It's not that all Somalis are criminal. It's just that 90% of these crimes are being committed by Somali Americans. And if you came to this country and you took advantage of the Americans' generosity, you committed fraud, and you refused to assimilate, you know what? I got 4 words for you. Get the hell out.
Cats and Cosby, 5 Eastern, 4 Central on the John Fredericks Media Network.
The book needs to be thrown at these people.
Hey there, it's Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of GlockStore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported our Second Amendment rights with GlockStore.com, the world's #1 source for Glock handguns, parts, and accessories. I also support accurate, unbiased journalism like The Michael Patrick Leahy Show. His team broke the Kilmar Abrego Garcia traffic stop and was the first to obtain that video. Independent journalism at its finest. Visit us at GlockStore.com, listen to Michael Patrick Leahy, and make America great again.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
And welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Okay, the big question for E.J. Haas is this. How many Americans are absolutely crazy? right now? How many?
All right. So I actually asked Grok. I asked Grok to estimate the number of Americans who are mentally ill. And I understand we're going to get actual, like, people with clinical diagnoses. However, in 2024, the latest full year data says approximately 61.5 million U.S. adults experienced any mental illness.
Okay, how many of them vote Democrat?
That's 23.4% of the adult population.
How many of them vote Democrat?
100%.
Yeah, really?
Listen, I'm not going to disparage people who legitimately have mental health issues. They're out there, and there's a reason there's medications and therapies and people who make a living out of helping those people, and I appreciate them. However, I think we've reached a weird point in our society where there's maybe 45% of the people that we interact with every single day are not rational. So whether we want to call it like mental health or lack of logic, they haven't been taught how to lose. This, I swear, it all comes down to this. We've spent multiple generations now teaching people that losing is not an option. It's not a thing you have to worry about. You should be comfortable all the time, and life owes you happiness. It does not. So life owes you nothing.
But here, let's go on this. We've got a little bit of a echo. Got it. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this right now. Let's talk about what's going on in our schools.
Yeah.
And this is the latest thing that we've got going on. The leftist teachers unions are they're not teaching the kids to read and write and think. They're propagandizing the kids.
They are teaching them what to think. They're not teaching them how to be thinkers.
Yeah.
And this has been a problem for a while. And it goes right back to what I said before. You can't teach people that life should always be happy. We have to know how to deal with consequences, deal with adversity, deal with objections. Like, you lose. Most of the time people lose, by the way. Just ask the NFL. Every team in the league loses on their last game except one.
Yeah.
Right? So losing is
32.
more common than winning.
But here's the thing. Right now, remember that book we read in high school, Lord of the Flies?
Yeah.
This is what we got going on right now. There's so many weird situations. Take, for instance, all of these anti-ICE protests. The kids are now not in school. They're out.
Right? They're leaving school.
In Austin, Texas, apparently a bunch of kids who are out protesting ICE, a teacher said something to them they didn't like. About a dozen of them started beating up the teacher.
Mob mentality.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's Lord of the Flies out there. What makes them think that is reasonable behavior?
Well, they
it's
don't
not
think.
Rational.
They can't think.
Right. And that's the problem. The teachers haven't been teaching rational thought.
Here's the thing. For more than a century, the deal in America has been go to high school, get good grades, go to college, get a good job. That's been the mantra. But it's all changed now.
Yeah.
Technology's changed it. And the destruction of our schools by the propagandizing left-wing teachers unions has ruined a generation.
At least. It's been a couple of generations now.
It basically, we've got a little 501c4 called Tennessee Leads, and we're about to change all this. We're about to change it, particularly with Tennessee leading the way.
Great.
There are 4 elements that have to happen. Number 1, in K-5, kids need to read, write, do math, and learn to think, right? That's number 1. Number 2, kids need to understand what it means to be a citizen and what the Constitution is and what our civic engagements are.
Agreed.
Number 3, they need to actually have a work ethic. So that they have an attitude that they are can-do Americans to which they are entitled to is nothing. And number 4, they need to learn a trade and not propaganda.
Skills, and that's a feeling of accomplishment, right? When you start a project, finish a project. When you learn a skill that you didn't know before, accomplishment is just as important as anything else that you learn. And you have to learn that feeling of failing and trying again
Mhm.
to be a productive member in our society.
Mhm.
And that's been true for as long as there's been humans. And for whatever reason, we just decided that wasn't quite as important as just screaming really loud and throwing bottles at people.
Mhm.
That doesn't help our society. That doesn't. What are these kids that are doing this now going to provide our society?
No.
In 5 years, where are they going to be?
The only thing they can do is protest and beat up their teachers.
Right. Well, and in some of these schools, and I don't recall exactly which one, but someone did a research, a little research into how many of them know reading and math, and it's something like 40%.
No, it's lower than that. Yeah.
Were able to read
Yeah.
and write at their grade level.
Yeah.
That's obnoxious.
No kidding.
Meanwhile, take them out of the classroom and let them hold signs and
There you go.
yell.
Yeah, that's what we've got going on. All right. We will see you
Yes,
on
sir.
Friday.
On Friday.
All right. Up next, if all goes well, Clint Brewer. I'm Michael Patrick Leahy. The website, TennesseeStar.com. She is EJ Haas. Back after this.
The Cats and Cosby Show.
It's a common sense recap of the big stories.
It's not that all Somalis are criminal. It's just that 90% of these crimes are being committed by Somali Americans. And if you came to this country and you took advantage of the Americans' generosity, you committed fraud, and you refused to assimilate, you know what? I got 4 words for you. Get the hell out.
Cats and Cosby, 5 Eastern, 4 Central on the John Fredericks Media Network.
The book needs to be thrown at these people.
Lifestyles Unlimited is a real estate education group that gives you the roadmap and resources to start building income through real estate. You'll learn practical strategies for using investment properties to create extra income and make informed decisions.
Was attending the World Governments Summit in Dubai. Homeland Security officers in Minneapolis are now being issued body-worn cameras. Secretary of Homeland Security Noam Made the announcement yesterday. President Trump says he supports the idea.
They generally tend to be good for law enforcement because people can't lie about what's happening. So it's generally speaking, I think 80% good for law enforcement. But if he wants to do that, I'm okay with it.
President Trump has welcomed Colombia's President Gustavo Petro to the White House for talks. The sit-down comes weeks after the president accused the Colombian leader of pumping cocaine into the United States. NASA's long-awaited moonshot with astronauts is off at least until March because of a hydrogen fuel leak. Arizona State University space professor Lori Leshin.
It's not a big deal if we don't get to launch in February. We're going to launch when we're ready. That's the key.
And the space agency announced the news today following a critical fueling test of its giant moon rocket in Florida. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Have you noticed losing weight is harder than it used to be? You're eating better and exercising, but the scale barely moves? The real problem isn't willpower, it's metabolic dysfunction. And standard dieting just makes it worse. PhD Weight Loss has helped thousands fix the root cause of stubborn weight. Take their free metabolic assessment at fixmyweightloss.com. Fixmyweightloss.com. It's quick, personalized, and shows why your body is resisting weight loss so you know exactly what to fix. Visit fixmyweightloss.com. That's fixmyweightloss.com.
The stock market is at an all-time high. The dollar is under pressure, and leading economists are warning that the global financial system is changing. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000 right now to get your free gold investment guide, plus your free copy of economist Ken Rogoff's book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. Find out about a tax and penalty-free rollover in 2026. Gold and silver can surge when the economy shifts, and they don't wait for permission. Consult your financial advisor before investing. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000.
And now here's Rich Thomason with the midday Wall Street Business Report.
Wall Street opened mostly higher this morning as more corporate earnings come in and precious metals recover some of their recent declines. Global shares surged, led by a nearly 7% jump in South Korea's benchmark and a 3.9% rally in Tokyo. Elon Musk is merging his space exploration venture, SpaceX, and his artificial intelligence business, XAI, into a single company. The move comes ahead of a public offering it's expected later this year. European governments are moving away from U.S. tech giants, opting for domestic or open source alternatives. For instance, France plans to replace Zoom and Teams with a homegrown video conference system by 2027. Gold is up close to 6%, while silver's price rebounded 12%, following nearly 2% losses on Monday. I'm Rich Thomason.
Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. The Clintons have agreed to testify in a House investigation into Jeffrey Epstein.
House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer has been advancing criminal contempt of Congress charges against both former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton for defying a congressional subpoena to testify in the panel's investigation into convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein donated to Bill Clinton's 1992 presidential campaign and Hillary Clinton's joint fundraising committee ahead of her 2000 Senate campaign. The former president had a well-documented relationship with Epstein in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Ben Thomas, Washington.
PepsiCo is cutting prices on Lay's, Doritos, Cheetos, and Tostitos chips, part of an effort to win back consumers exasperated by rising prices. PepsiCo has leaned on price increases in recent years. You'll find more on these stories at townhall.com.
It's the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, broadcasting live from downtown Nashville. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. In studio, the fully recovered journalist, all-star panelist, and public affairs specialist, the one, the only Clint Brewer. Hello, Clint. How you doing?
Mike. I'm good. How are you?
Good, good, good. Well, last night, the power was on for most of Nashville.
Yeah.
It was on for the state capitol.
Yeah, yeah.
And Governor Bill Lee gave his final State of the State address. Think of that. This will be his 8th year.
That's right.
As governor.
2 terms, all the way through.
I remember when. We're about to, on Thursday, we will celebrate the 9th birthday of the Tennessee Star.
Outstanding.
I remember in our, really our second year in the 2018 primary. Remember that?
I do.
You had Diane Black spent $40 million.
It wasn't really 40, was it?
30.
I think it was.
It was 30.
It was a lot.
It was more than 30.
It was a great deal of money.
And as a former congresswoman, and Randy Boyd spent about $30 million, and most of that money.
One of my old bosses.
Randy Boyd spent attacking Diane Black, and Diane Black spent that money attacking Randy Boyd. And there's old Bill Leahy sneaking through the middle. He spent $10-15 million bucks.
Yeah,
and he was just the nice guy.
Well,
he won easily.
Yeah, he had, he wasn't trying to get around to the right of anybody. He had more appeal to evangelical voters.
Mm-hmm.
He attitudinally, tonally sounded more like Bill Haslam than he did either Boyd or Black.
He did, yeah.
So,
not exactly separated at birth, but,
not exactly, but,
similar.
Randy's done great. Randy's the president of the University of Tennessee system.
He's doing great.
He's beloved by the Tennessee alumni, and he has done a fantastic job there. So
and he's probably happier doing that.
Found his own
governor.
Found his own role, which is great for the state. But
he's a really sharp guy.
Very sharp guy.
Really sharp guy.
And really enjoyed it. I worked with him for 2 years and really enjoyed it.
So this is interesting, though. So, like, for the first 5 years or so, we were kind of, giving Billy a hard time about this or that.
You, Mike?
I know. It's hard
give
to
somebody a hard time in public office?
It's hard to believe.
It's sort of the model, isn't it, for the show?
But he has he's done a really good job the final couple of years.
I think he's hit his stride.
I think you're right.
He had. He came out of the gate having to deal with COVID, and I think that probably, from a policy perspective, robbed him of a few years that he would love to have back. They had to wrestle with so much of that.
I don't think he wants any of them back. I think he'd be happy to leave.
I get that, but I'm saying it was time. And I think there are a lot of other governors like that who probably spent an inordinate amount of time dealing with COVID and not dealing with their own portfolio that they wanted to be dealing with.
Speaking of his portfolio, here he is at the State of the State address last night, talking about one of his signature accomplishments, which is the Education Scholarship Program. Let's play the clip right now, clip 3.
Families school choice with the Education Freedom Scholarship Program because we know that parents know best. Clearly, Tennesseans like freedom. Last year, more than 40,000 applications. This year, 54,000 applications for 20,000 spots. That means right now, 34,000 students are still waiting for a shot at education freedom, and we owe it to them. We don't have to look too far to see how education freedom is changing lives. Down the road in Antioch, Tennessee, 77% of the students enrolled at Lighthouse Christian School are there because they received a scholarship from the state. Dr. Milton Nettles, head of the school at Lighthouse, has seen how school choice is changing lives firsthand. Once a public school teacher himself, he believes parents know best, and he's seen hundreds of students find their fit at Lighthouse, and parents who have a choice at last. And still, he says it isn't enough, and I agree. Growing the program would open the door of opportunity for thousands more children statewide. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Nettles and some of the exceptional students at Lighthouse Christian School.
And so then he went on and he said he wants to increase it. He wants to double the number of, which is good, of education scholarships. I think actually maybe put it up to 50,000. Right, the law now automatically goes from 20,000 to 25,000. But you said something important. You said he's hit his stride.
Mm-hmm.
His delivery.
I was just about to talk about that.
Tell me.
I'm going to date myself here a little bit, but I have had the ability to see. This is the fourth governor I've watched all the way through 2 8-year terms. So Sundquist, Bredesen, Haslam, and now Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always the same pattern. They really start hitting their stride in terms of being an orator, kind of in the back half of that second term. They get really. I saw the governor speak this summer at Speaker Sexton's Burgers and Brews event in Crossville, and I was just really impressed then with just how fluid and comfortable he's gotten on stage. None of them ever start that way, at least not in Tennessee, because generally most of them come from the private sector and they're not giving big speeches. But saw this with Governor Haslam. He really, second term early, started hitting that stride. It's good to see.
Yeah, I've noticed that, because if you heard him in his first year, I mean, he delivered like an HVAC executive, right?
Yeah, I mean, they don't embarrass themselves, but they really start to sound like governors in that second term.
Here's another clip. You're talking about the Memphis task force. Clip 2.
Memphis all my life. I grew up spending summers there with my cousins, riding bikes off of Getwell, where they lived, through neighborhoods of a great American city that is legendary worldwide. And it saddened my heart to see over the decades that Memphis kids can't live that same safe experience. From day one, we've looked for opportunities to create change in a city that's more than worth fighting for. And over the years, good faith efforts have resulted in incremental progress, but that deserves recognition. But the Memphis Safe Task Force has fostered an unprecedented collaboration between local and state and federal partners that's nothing short of extraordinary. The federal resources delivered by the Trump administration, the dozens of agencies working side by side, the relentless bipartisanship that has proven all the critics wrong. This Herculean effort has in fact created generational change in Memphis.
Okay, so again, back to the theme of the pacing. Pacing's good. The delivery is strong.
Yeah.
That's probably the best speech I've ever heard him give.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
I'd say
really
so.
Interesting.
Well, and the choice of issues too. I mean, our cities are worth fighting for.
Go ahead.
They are, and I tried to explain this to reporters years ago, that there was a deep care amongst the Republican leadership for Memphis, in the
there
both
is
speakers' offices,
there
leadership, like
State Senator Taylor.
Yeah, absolutely, and there are citizens too, and the joke for generations in Tennessee has always been, can we just give Memphis to Arkansas or Mississippi? And
there's a related joke which I won't tell.
Right, but I mean that's just the wrong attitude, And it's nice to see this. It's really. I was born in Memphis. I mean, it's heartening to see.
Yeah, and I think Memphis weathered the storm much better, and did a better job. Than National Electric Service. So I told that to Brent Taylor, and he said, "Yeah, Memphis. We're making Memphis matter."
Yeah, well, you didn't see those problems.
Yeah. When we come back, we'll turn our attention to the national stage. What are those Democrats up to? Back after this.
Hi folks, John Fredericks here for Freedom Alliance. Veterans are still struggling with the wounds of war. They came home with injuries that changed them forever. The flag-burning troublemakers in our streets remind me how fortunate we are to have patriots who served and fought, sacrificed, and never complained. We need to support them through organizations like the Freedom Alliance. It's Military Appreciation Month and time to support those who serve. Freedom Alliance is caring for combat veterans and military families. Combat veterans fought in the worst, most dangerous places on earth. Freedom Alliance takes them to nature's most relaxing locations so they can heal. Freedom Alliance gives injured troops mortgage-free homes, new cars, and all-terrain wheelchairs. For wounded vets, there's nothing like the stability of your own home, the reinsurance of a reliable vehicle, or the independence of a wheelchair that navigates snow, ice, beach, pasture, or most any terrain. Let's fight for those who fought for us. Go to freedomalliance.org/Godzilla and make a monthly gift that will improve the life of a military hero. That's freedomalliance.org/Godzilla. Make a contribution today.
If you're like me, most moms find it difficult to prioritize self-care. Hi, it's Colleen, Program Director at the John Fredericks Media Network. With the demands of programming 13 radio stations, it's easy to forget about the things I should do for myself daily. And that's why I started with our company's Women's Challenge with Native Path Collagen Peptides. It's affordable and convenient care in just 1 scoop a day. There are so many incredible health benefits like bone and joint support, metabolism booster, and hair, skin, and nail improvement. I like to take a moment each day to prioritize myself and indulge in the health-boosting benefits of Native Path Collagen Peptides. I love mixing it up with all the different smoothie recipes, too. Learn more about Native Path Collagen Peptides and read 7 important reasons why you should be taking collagen peptides at getnativepath.com/Godzilla. Prioritize your self-care with Native Path Collagen Peptides. Try it risk-free for as low as $21 today and get free shipping at getnativepath.com/Godzilla.
Target.com. Target.com is an online e-commerce tire retailer. We are here to serve the American public with the best possible customer service, the best pricing, and we make it extremely easy. We have many name brands and a lot of low-cost tires. The price is right, and it's easy. You go online to Target.com, Tireget.com, Target.com. You go there, you put your zip code in, all the inventory displays right in front of you. You can call in for help if you want to. We'll help you get the tire that you need. But we will take the tires you buy and at no extra charge deliver them to the dealer right by your house where they will be installed at the market price. It's easy. The best price, the best service. Great people to deal with. Thank you for going to Target.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Okay, Clint, I'm going to set you up with this. We're not going to quite go to national. There's a local stuff that came up just this morning. The streets of Nashville were frozen over, but I think this morning hell froze over because the Tennessee...
Getting all Milton on me, are you?
The Tennessee Progressive Caucus in the House held a press conference. They sounded an awful lot like the Republicans. I kid you not. And they were just ripping the failure of Nashville Electric Service. Let's just play that clip right now of State Rep Powell, I guess is his name. And, of course, Justin Jones is standing next to him. But let's just play this clip here. Then I'll ask you a question.
This has definitely been a very difficult week for my city of Nashville and across the state of Tennessee. Very clear we were unprepared and not ready somehow for the severity of the storm that we knew was coming. Children that continue to have to sleep in their coats at night because they don't have power. Schools that are closed where children are depending on going to get a meal. Our seniors locked in their homes. So this is a really difficult situation, and it's clear that NES has failed the people of Nashville. We will be working on legislation. I'm going to leave this meeting and file legislation to deal with electric grid resilience and accountability so that this doesn't happen again. This isn't the first time that I've challenged NES. Last session, I had a bill that addressed contracting concerns and the lack of transparency. But it's clear that we need, and the people I'm hearing from, that are still sitting in their homes without power. They're cold, they're scared, and they are very angry. And I am very angry for those people. I, too, lost power. I was out 72 hours, but there are people that still, 1 week later, are still without their power. And the communication has been poor, transparency abysmal, and the lack of preparation is unacceptable.
Okay, so he goes on, and I don't know what's going to be in his bill, but he sounded like Speaker Kim Sexton.
Well, I mean, okay, so let's just admit there's a problem. What you're seeing is, once you get past the mayor and like the Speaker of the House, you're starting to see people just use it as an opportunity to get on camera.
Of course.
And I don't, I can't remember the last time I saw the Progressive Caucus actually on TV.
So, they actually said something that made some sense. What could they do?
Well, look,
what can the Tennessee General Assembly do to this debacle? The National Electric Service, formed in 1938, a municipal electric utility controlled by the city, 5 members of the board, all appointed by the mayor, the current mayor, Freddie O'Connell has appointed 2 of them, none of them with any utility experience. And then the chair is the wife of the former mayor, Carl Dean, an attorney, no utility experience. That 5-member board hired Teresa Broyles-Applin, the CEO, no utility experience, an accountant who obviously didn't prepare. To me, now Freddie O'Connell is getting a commission together of 9 people, including 2, hacks on the city council and 7 people he appoints. That's going to give him a report in a year. No, Freddie, just my advice. Call on the CEO to resign immediately. Call on all 5 board members to resign immediately. That's the way to fix the problem. That's not how they look at it. What could the Tennessee General Assembly do in this case, realistically?
Well, I mean, it's a utility, and so it is regulated by the state of Tennessee. There are various boards and commissions under the state that regulate utility work, that regulate utilities finances. I mean, I think what the General Assembly could actually do is turn the issue over to the comptroller's office. I think that is probably the most logical thing to do. There needs to be a sober, clear-eyed, unemotional debrief as to what actually happened.
No, you don't need a debrief.
Well, what,
I mean, we've been
audit, whatever you want to call it.
Clint, this is obvious stuff. Trim the trees. Okay,
that's what I'm saying. We're saying. Let me finish. We're not saying opposite things. I mean, I've heard all kinds of things. Some of them from the news, some of them from social media. It's did we curtail tree trimming? I've heard that. I've read that on your website.
They did.
Yeah, I know. But if so, why? I've read that they don't actually employ enough engineers to deploy with the line crews, because we've got all the linemen in the world now, but we don't have enough engineers to deploy with the linemen to actually get the system fixed. I'd love to know, think about the things Nashville's faced in the last 20 years. We had the historic flooding of, I think that was 2010.
2010.
We had the Super Tuesday tornadoes right before the pandemic. I mean, Nashville has faced catastrophic weather events before. After the floods, there was a huge amount of examination and auditing and looking at why things happened the way they did, and they found some pretty deep systemic failures. And I suspect that's what you'll find here. They're pretty obvious, I think, some of them. But I mean, you've got people in places like Whites Creek who've been without power for 10 days. And have no sign of it coming back. There needs to be from a third party. I think the comptroller's office is a great place to start. An independent look at exactly what happened. Because if it can happen in Nashville, it could happen in another big city in the state. Or are our requirements for reinvestment of these regulated utilities enough?
So here's the problem.
Is our oversight of them enough? Because if you don't have oversight,
they don't have oversight. Here's
that's the biggest issue.
So just to make a little correction here, there is no state regulatory body that regulates National Electric Service. Yeah, the Tennessee Public Utility Commission regulates investor-owned private utilities. So there's no control. There's this 5-member electric power board.
Well, there may be your problem right there.
Yeah, so what I think has to happen, here's what I would recommend, because the Tennessee General Assembly hangs on our every word here.
Right. Outstanding.
What I would recommend is they should revoke the charter of the National Electric Service. And recharter it. And have controls where it is controlled. Now, the controller would be a good guy to be involved in the management of this.
I think
that's
so.
What has to. This is not. It's not a functioning entity.
So I'll make a comparison here. We discovered this in a time of crisis, right? So, Nashville. This is not the first sort of quasi-freestanding governmental entity in Nashville that has systemic problems. The public school system has had issues for generations. Have had some marginal gains recently in educational attainment, but any county mayor outside, adjacent to Nashville, but outside of Nashville, any suburban mayor, if you get them, off to the side and being transparent, will tell you the biggest driver in population growth to suburbs for decades has been the failure of Nashville public schools.
Yeah, no kidding.
And so people fleeing Nashville to go to better public schools out in the counties. And so, you have to ask yourself, is metro government set up the way it needs to be? Do we have oversight over these entities?
That's exactly the question.
You referenced
right
Carl
there.
Dean earlier. Carl Dean ran in his first term on fixing Nashville public schools, although he really has, at the time, had almost no ability to do so legally, legislatively.
That's the key, isn't it? Right there.
And so, we talked about Memphis. We talked about how Memphis matters. Nashville matters. Nashville's an economic driver for the state. Nashville is an indelible part of the state brand. The state capital is here. The centers of power are here. But when we have these kind of failures, whether it's ongoing systemic failure like the public school system, or whether we have this crisis-driven failure like with NES, it blemishes the ability of the state to do business. It hurts our ability as our reputationally, and it's not fair to the citizens and the ratepayers.
Absolutely not.
And so there needs to be, and I think this can only be driven by the legislature. I think there needs to be a very deep dive into where the deficiencies are and what the regulatory structure needs to be.
Here's a question: is this something that they can take up in this short session? Or is it next year?
I don't think they need to pass a law to do it. I think they need
oversight hearings.
I think that they need to. I think that both speakers, really any member of the legislature, can request it. I think this needs to go straight to the desk of the comptroller. I think it needs to go directly to him and say, investigate, audit, find out what happened, and give us factual answers.
He's really good.
Oh, they're exceptional at it. Yeah,
he was. Justin Wilson was great before him.
Yep. Jason Mumpower, the comptroller, I think his office is uniquely suited to getting under the hood and figuring out exactly where the failures are. Because there's all this information out there, and through your reporting and others, we have pieces of the puzzle. But, there's been the suggestion that people don't like it when you come trim their trees. So it's easier just to not do it so much.
Well, that's part of it. But they want to get that award from the Arborist Tree List USA,
right?
That says that they're kind to trees.
Yeah,
right. They got it for 16 straight
years. And you can't really regulate this or mandate it, but I mean, from a communications perspective, had I been there to help an entity like this, I would say, as with anything in life, under promise and over deliver. I mean, if the date has always been February 8th. Come out and say that from the beginning.
How about this? Instead of 230,000 that takes 15 days to fix, how about 2,000 that takes 1 day to fix?
Well, I mean, just come out and lay your cards on the table early.
They didn't do that.
No,
not even close. When we come back, we're going to shift gears. I promise. National. They're in the midst of this shutdown. Asterisk. And there's a really key element to it having to do with warrants. For illegal immigrants. Back after this with our good friend Clint Brewer.
EJ Haast here, founder of the Digital Footprint Management Agency and frequent guest on the Michael Patrick Leahy Show, here to tell you about GetFoundEverywhere.com. Customers are searching for your business everywhere: Google, Apple Maps, TikTok, and new AI platforms like ChatGPT and Gemini, which is a total disruptor. Traditional search engine optimization isn't dead, but it is on life support. Old tactics don't work anymore. So how can you make your business stand out? GetFoundEverywhere.com makes your business pop on over 50 search, map, review, and AI-driven platforms. With one easy dashboard, manage business profiles, social media accounts, direct messages, even texts and reviews. GetFoundEverywhere.com is affordable, boosts your visibility, and gets your business more customers. It's time to step up your game the easy way. Save time, save money, and get more customers with GetFoundEverywhere.com.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
I'm Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of GlockStore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported the Second Amendment rights of free men and women to protect themselves and their families with firearms. We offer the very best in both selection and prices on Glock handguns, custom Glocks, Glock magazines, and high-performance shooting accessories at GlockStore.com. We also have the finest retail showroom and our Shoot 270 shoot rooms right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Come visit us at GlockStore.com, and you'll be glad you did.
My fellow Americans, my good friends, I've known them for a long time, at D.T. McCall & Sons have the deal of a lifetime for you, and nobody knows deals like I do. That much I can tell you. Nobody knows deals like I do. The lumber yards, they can hit you with hidden charges for up to $200 extra. They'll charge you for cords and hoses and haul-offs. Your money goes all over the place and out of the state, and most importantly, out of your pockets. How do they get away with that? I don't know how they do that, but on day one, if you buy from McCall's, we are going to stop the hidden charges as soon as you buy it. D.T. McCall & Sons has locations in Lebanon, Carthage, Lafayette, Cookeville, and Franklin, and they have been family-owned in Middle Tennessee for over 100 years. Head to one of their stores today or check them out at dtmccalls.com. You're going to love it, believe me.
Impersonator not endorsed by Donald Trump.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
In studio, Clint Brewer, all-star panelist, good friend. Clint, I promised we'd talk national here a little bit. Okay, so there was a threat of a government shutdown.
Yeah. Another one. Yeah.
And now there's a deal, asterisk. And the deal is we'll keep all the government going until September, except DHS, we're going to take 10 days and figure out what we can do with you guys. And so they clearly what the Democrats want to do is they reject one of the reasons Donald Trump was elected. Close the borders, deport illegal aliens, particularly high-level criminal illegal aliens. And, of course, with all the problems in the 2 killings in Minneapolis and this rising anti-ICE movement, the Democrats are saying, well, we've got to change the way ICE operates. You've got to get a judicial warrant from an Article III judge in order to arrest an illegal alien criminal. That's what they're claiming. Now, that's not the way it works right now.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, there's an immigration judge. There's plenty of precedent on this. Immigration judges are not what you call Article III judges. Article III judges are the federal district court judges, appeal court judges, et cetera, that are confirmed by the Senate. Immigration judges are actually employees of the Department of Justice.
Yeah,
but
they're more like magistrates.
Yeah, but they issue warrants like a magistrate can issue a warrant. And none other than the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, who is, by the way, a constitutional attorney.
Yeah. Yes.
Hello.
Right.
Had a comment on this desire by the Democrats to throw in another reason why ICE agents would have more difficulty getting illegal aliens out of the country. Let's play this clip right now.
You're a constitutional lawyer. Can you detail the Fourth Amendment protections and rights someone has if an ICE agent approaches their home with an administrative warrant? How much time do you have?
Yeah, right. Let me say this. Okay, so when ICE goes to execute a warrant, it's an administrative warrant, and it's issued by an immigration judge, and that is a sufficient legal authority to go and apprehend someone. They have violated the law. They crossed over our border illegally, and they're here and without any right to be here. Okay, that's what's happening now. The controversy has erupted where if someone is, they're going to be apprehended and they run behind a closed door and lock the door, I mean, what is ICE supposed to do? What is Immigration Customs Enforcement supposed to do at that point? Oh, gee whiz, they locked the door. I mean, I guess we'll just go on to our. I mean, so there's some logic and reason that is to be applied here. Some have complained that the force has been excessive or what have you. I don't know. We're going to figure that out. It's part of the discussion over the next couple of weeks. I tell you what the Democrats want to do and what we cannot do, and that is they want to add an entirely new layer of warrant requirement. Okay, they want to have a judicial warrant on top of the immigration judge warrant, and we can't do that.
Yeah. Hello. This is all delay.
Yeah.
The big plan here, right? They want to wait out Trump until 2028, win the presidency, win the House, win the Senate, and then open the floodgates again and bring in all the pedophiles and murderers and rapists, because that's apparently their natural consistency.
Well, I mean, for the first time in, I think, probably at least my lifetime, we actually have a closed border.
Yeah, we do.
So, I mean, let's not overlook that accomplishment. I am infinitely more comfortable with Tom Homan being at the helm of this. I think he's got, deep and real law enforcement experience. Everybody forgets he also worked in the Obama administration. I mean, this is a career cop. This guy is legitimate. He's the kind of person that needs to be in charge of this effort. And look, we're doing something unprecedented in American history. And, we're making some policy changes, but I think this new layer of warrants is just a non-starter. It would literally stop the entire process.
I think you're exactly.
I mean, it's intentional. That's the idea.
That's what they want to do.
But I agree with the speaker.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Right now, in terms of the national picture, there are some warning signs. A recent special election in the Texas state legislature in Tarrant County, which is sort of down at Fort Worth area, that had been a Republican seat. The incumbent retired, and a Democrat won by 14 points. People are saying, "Oh, this is a harbinger of a disaster, and the Democrats are going to win the midterms." What are your thoughts on this?
The Democrats might win the midterms. I mean, I think the House is the question. And ICE or no ICE, I mean, the pattern historically has been that the incumbent party in the White House typically takes it on the chin during the midterms. I mean, this is not new, right? Like, this is not, if it weren't immigration and ICE, it would be, kitchen table issues. I mean, this is just how our political system and the cadence of it has played out over the years. I do not believe that there is going to be any kind of change in how the American people view the overall issue of illegal immigration. I think that there is room and time to get back to the core purpose of all of this activity, which is just as you described it, to deport criminal, illegal immigrants from this country and to close the border. That's what the president ran on, and that needs to be the core mission.
Got some breaking news.
Okay.
In process. So this kind of got a political implication here right now. 40 minutes ago, the House was to vote on a spending bill, right? So there wouldn't be a shutdown.
Right.
2 Republicans are voting with the Democrats on this. And it looks like it's not going to pass. One of the Republicans is, wait for it, Thomas Massey. Would you like to know who the other one is?
I think I know, but go ahead.
John Rose.
Oh, wow.
John Rose. Yeah.
Interesting.
So why is John Rose doing this? Why is he aligning himself with Thomas Massey and the Democrats? Didn't he run for governor?
Last I checked.
This would be kind of a stupid thing to do, it seems to me. Here's what he's saying, though. House Republicans must hold the line and refuse to fold on something as fundamental as election integrity. The SAVE Act belongs on must-pass legislation. This would be kind of grandstanding, it seems to me, because now this is going to force a shutdown of the government, in theory, if he doesn't change his vote. What's his thinking here?
Might force a shutdown of his opponents, and it might force an endorsement of his opponent. It might force
by President Trump.
Yeah,
President Trump.
He came pretty close.
He came close, but it looks like right now. Of course, the vote is still open, but it looks like right now that John Rose is trying to be a hero on the SAVE Act, but what he's really doing is screwing up the operation of the federal government. This could lead to a shutdown.
Yeah.
Who's advising? Okay. My problem with John Rose. You want to hear it?
Sure.
Do you know who he takes counsel from?
Go ahead. I know what you're going to say, but go ahead. I don't want to take the line from you.
No one except for John Rose.
Yeah.
See, somebody with a little bit of common sense would say, John, buddy, this is not going to work out well. Because what are you trying to accomplish? This is grandstanding. If all the Republicans are going to be irritated with you, the president in particular is going to be very irritated. I think you're right. I think if this causes a problem, Trump is going to say, "You joining Thomas Massey?" Joining Thomas Massey?
Yeah, I mean, Massey represents a wing of the party that's more libertarian than conservative, that is, very isolationist. He's been at odds with the president over a lot of things. I don't want to presume that Congressman Rose is that this vote is about his run for governor, right? But
it's about his run for governor.
But
come on.
I mean, I think the Beacon poll, what was the margin?
It was 56-9.
Yeah. So, I mean, I am certain that the congressman is looking for what in marketing we might call some product differentiation. I'm not sure this is it.
Well, it is a differentiation.
It's a differentiation, all right. But, I mean, maybe we'll be proven wrong, but I don't think so.
I'm beyond irritated with this decision. This grandstanding.
Well, I read yesterday that Tim Burchett had to be wooed on this vote. Did he not?
What, he voted with the president.
Right. But, I mean, it took some doing. It took some doing.
Yeah. Well, apparently John Rose didn't listen to the president.
Well,
he certainly never listened to me.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
We'll see. This has been my. I know it's getting an old saw, but it's not just he doesn't listen to me. Again, if we contrast Marsha Blackburn. Marsha listens to a lot of people.
Right.
She listens to constituents, the county mayors, to state legislators, to members of the House. This is not a characteristic that John Rose has.
Well, this is, I don't think this is a hill you want to die on here. I don't, maybe there's time for him to change his mind. I don't know, but feels like not the right battle at not the right time.
That is so weird. I'm telling you, So where does it? There's going to be some scrumming going on.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Johnson is saying, "What are you doing?"
I would imagine. I mean,
the president's going to say, "Okay, John, you want to stick with that? I will immediately endorse Marsha Blackburn for governor." I think that's probably what's going on right now.
Well, or either maybe the congressman's trying to hold that endorsement at bay by taking this vote to the cliff. You know what I mean? Maybe he tries to get a concession and pulls back from it. It's just.
But that's bad form.
Well,
it does not. It doesn't look good.
How many points down is he?
47.
It might be all he's got, right?
I think Monty Frisk just jumped up into second place.
Mike.
Yeah. No, listen. It's 56 in that poll.
Yeah.
Republican primary voters.
Right.
56% for Marsha. 9% for John Rose. 8% for Monty Frisk.
Yeah.
Monty is not stupid enough to defy the president and the entire party on a grandstanding issue like this. It's just ridiculous.
I wasn't expecting to talk about this today. I'll tell you that.
I wasn't either.
That's unexpected.
I wasn't either.
That is unexpected.
Let me pile on while we're at it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So he announced.
I feel like you've been waiting for this for a while. Go ahead.
He announced he raised $6.5 million.
Yeah.
He was very proud of that. $5 million was a loan he made to the campaign. So he only raised, it was a 6.1. He raised 1.1 million. Marcia, in the same time period, raised 5.5 million.
Yeah.
I'm piling on, but hey.
Marcia's return was remarkable.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right. When we come back, News Potpourri.
Tom Carmichael, CEO of Soul Tea, a supplement to help you have a healthier heart and stronger cardiovascular system. At Soul Tea, we regularly get emails from our customers telling us how Soul Tea has helped them. Like this one from Kelly. Hello, I'm 58 years old and have had high cholesterol for years. I wanted to stay away from prescription drugs. My husband and I have been using Soul Tea for about 13 months. My results have been amazing. My cholesterol levels went from 291 to 129. I am so impressed with Soul Tea and want to thank you. Now, in my own case, my bad cholesterol dropped from 130 to 89, and that was 20 years ago. I'm 75 years old and I take 0 prescription drugs. To get a great deal on Soul Tea, please go to GodzillaHeart.com, and when you check out, use the code Godzilla to get our best deal, which is 50% off your first shipment and then 3 bottles for the price of 2 thereafter. You don't have to live with a broken heart.
Do you suffer from
Try
declining
Soul Tea
bone and
today.
joint health? Hi, it's Tina with the John Fredericks Media Network. And when I heard about our company's Women's Challenge, I jumped on the opportunity to test this amazing supplement that's already restoring my bone density, soothing my joint pain, and helping me regain lost mobility. I've experienced so many benefits in such a short time with Native Path Collagen Peptides because they support my bones and joints, boost my metabolism, and unleash the most radiant skin and hair since my 20s. In just 2 weeks, my knee stiffness is gone, and I'm already hitting the gym more aggressively. And I get so many compliments on my glowy skin and shiny hair. Native Path Collagen Peptides are so easy to take. They're tasteless, odorless, and mix great with my morning coffee. Read thousands of 5-star reviews at getnativepath.com/Godzilla. Level up your self-care with Native Path Collagen Peptides. Try it risk-free for as low as $21 today. And get free shipping at getnativepath.com/Godzilla.
In 2008, the amount of concentrated time people could spend on a task without becoming distracted was 12 seconds. 5 years later, it was only 8 seconds, 1 second less than a goldfish. If you're often distracted or have trouble recalling information, you're likely to fall behind in the demanding, fast-paced 21st century. In other words, brain performance is more critical now than ever. Boost your brain power with Healthy Cells Focus Plus Recall. Science-backed nootropics to help you sharpen focus, concentrate longer, enhance recall, improve mental speed, learn rapidly, and be more alert. It's a pill-free brain supplement made with maximum absorption ingestible gel technology, designed to feed your brain at the cellular level. Take it for a test drive. Go to healthycell.com and use code GODZILLA for 20% off your first order of Focus Plus Recall. That's healthycell.com, code GODZILLA for 20% off.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Now, here's Michael Patrick Leahy.
Welcome back to the Michael Patrick Leahy Show. Well, in studio, all-star panelist Clint Brewer. Clint, it's that time of day again. It's time for News Potpourri. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, News Potpourri. This is the portion of the program we talk about the stories that are of note, don't necessarily merit a full segment, and may have a touch of irony. All right.
May.
Here we go. There's an article in the Times of London, the New York Times, I think. Nearly 40% of Stanford undergraduates claim they're disabled. That was written by someone who says she's one of those disabled. 40%. I think that may be true. They're mentally ill. So they're all a bunch of Democrats, right?
What kind of disabled are we talking about?
I don't know. You know, they have to walk to class. I don't know. Who knows what it is? It's kind of crazy.
You know, I read a story like that said that a high number of students at Ivy League schools claim a disability.
Yeah.
So that they can get more time on tests and with their classwork.
Wah, wah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a competitive advantage they're trying to get.
Got a couple of Elon Musk stories. Well, maybe 3.
I'm caffeine dependent. Is that like a disability?
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
know. Can I claim that?
You get extra time in your test.
Yeah.
I'm going to need it, by the way. I have a civil procedure test. And
You should be studying and not on the air,
I
Mike.
should be.
We need to wrap this up.
I need heavy coffee. Okay, so a trio of Elon Musk stories. Number 1, he just gave 500 generators to the city of Nashville. Nice
Outstanding.
Guy. His ex offices were raided in Paris.
Yeah. Former offices.
Yeah.
What were they raiding a former office for?
They were raiding his offices of X, right?
Oh, X. The X. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I forget it's not called Twitter anymore.
Yeah. They're raiding those offices. Well, they're looking for, violations of free speech, of their speech ordinances, I think.
Oh, okay.
And this is the one that's kind of interesting. He's merging XAI with his spaceship company. Huh?
I did read that.
SpaceX.
That is interesting.
$1.2 trillion valuation.
Can we send France Don Lemon and can we just like trade them Don Lemon and us just like free Elon of these troubles? Is that possible?
I think that's
Do you think
a good
they
idea.
take that?
Right next to that, there's another idea. What do you think of trading Minnesota for Alberta with Canada?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, it's Alberta and Quebec. Can we get them both?
No, I don't want Quebec.
You don't want Quebec?
Oh, no.
You don't like all the French-speaking people? Is that the problem?
My dad was born in Quebec.
Okay.
They're
Well, what's wrong with Quebec? Quebec's a nice place. I've been there.
They hate anybody who's not French Canadian. So no, we're not going to do that.
Oh, okay.
But
I
Alberta,
like Quebec.
Alberta might make some sense. Okay, so here's one. We got a clip. There's this guy, a member of the state legislature in Texas, kind of a lefty. I forget what his name is, Tellerico or something like that. He was doing a PR thing on The View.
A member of the state legislature from Texas got on The View.
Yeah.
They're having trouble booking guests,
No
clearly.
kidding. But they actually asked him a question he couldn't answer. Let's see what happened here.
I want to ask you about your record as a state legislator because they have reviewed your legislative history and you've missed over 800 votes during your time in the State House. Why did you miss the votes, and why should voters allow you to represent their interests statewide when some are saying you did not represent your district?
And this is a Republican talking point because I broke quorum twice with my Democratic colleagues to protest this redistricting power grab, to protest their voter suppression. And so I wasn't on the floor to take these votes because I was trying to stop them from passing these voter suppression efforts. And so they tried.
Okay, that's 2 votes. What about the other 798 votes? Of course, obviously, she's a buddy of Jasmine Crockett, who's the opponent. I don't know. I don't think either one's going to have much of a chance in Texas. But yeah, they're trying to turn it. They're trying to turn it, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, they've been trying to turn it. Like Texas has been the white whale for the Democratic Party for years.
There's a weird story about, you know what temporary protected status is? It's like a made-up rule that Joe Biden gave to like 350,000 Haitians and brought them in.
Temporary protected status?
Yeah. It's like they get them
I think that's what happens between the time that I buy a new firearm and my wife finds out that I bought the new firearm. I think that's what I have is temporary protected status until she finds out. That's what I understand it to be.
Well, here's another interpretation of that. A federal district court judge had said basically the Trump administration said, you don't have temporary protected status anymore. That was a silly executive order from Biden. We're revoking it. But this is unbelievable. A Biden appointed federal district court judge has called that revocation of that executive order unconstitutional. Do you know where she was born? Uruguay. I'm sick and tired of all these foreign-born judges.
Does Uruguay have temporary protected status?
No.
Oh,
they don't.
That
But
would be
still,
more fun.
Same
if they
point.
did.
Yeah, it'd be
Okay.
more fun if they did. So, anyways, the Trump administration is going right to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court is going to tell that judge, You might want to go back to Uruguay.
Well,
yeah.
Men's national team beat Uruguay in soccer at the end of last year.
Okay.
How that makes you feel any better?
I'm going to give you something here.
Okay.
Because, you're a soccer guy.
Yeah.
You were very much involved in building the soccer park. What's it called now? The Geodis?
Geodis, yeah.
You know what they're going to do with that. 2028.
Olympic Games.
Olympic Games.
It's terrific.
There you go. You want to take a bow for that?
So happy about that. I am.
How many games?
Wait.
These are like not the finals, right?
Yeah. So in men's Olympic soccer, they actually have a rule that all the players have to be what's called a U23 player, so 23 or under. So
really?
Yeah, and it's because if you didn't, there'd just be another World Cup, right?
Oh,
and
gotcha.
So you get each country can get 3 players who are above that age. So generally, it's a great tournament because you get to see like all the young up and coming players from every country. Now on the women's side, the women can field any age group teams they want
because they have a professional league, but it's nothing like
they're just fewer professional players. Yeah.
All right. Clint Brewer, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
All right, we'll see you next week. Up next, Rob Carson. I'll be back tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock Central Time. I hope you have a great day. The website, TennesseeStar.com. Thanks for joining us.
This is State Senator Mark Pody. Government is limited to what it is supposed to do. One of the things that is critical that we're supposed to be working on is transportation. Here in Middle Tennessee, our roads need more help. As your state senator, we are focused on getting more money reoccurring without a new tax increase for our roads here in Tennessee. This is State Senator Mark Pody.
Paid for by Campaign for Mark Pody, Christina Hibden, Treasurer.
Hey there, it's Lenny McGill, founder and CEO of GlockStore.com. For over 30 years, I've supported our Second Amendment rights with GlockStore.com, the world's #1 source for Glock handguns, parts, and accessories. I also support accurate, unbiased journalism like The Michael Patrick Leahy Show. His team broke the Kilmar Abrego Garcia traffic stop and was the first to obtain that video. Independent journalism at its finest. Visit us at GlockStore.com. Listen to Michael Patrick Leahy and make America great again.
FlatFeeNashville.com is a full-service real estate brokerage that charges homeowners a upfront flat fee of $999 to completely list, market, and sell your home. We are all about saving consumers money, saving that equity. Nobody should hire an agent and feel like when that agent walks in the door, that agent is more concerned about the down payment on their next Mercedes purchase versus saving the equity that those homeowners have worked hard for. I've spent my entire career in ensuring that the equity that people save and they put into their monthly mortgage every single month, as much of that as we possibly can goes back to them when they go to list and sell that home. The idea is to give homeowners the ability to really create generational wealth.
FlatFeeNashville.com, FlatFeeNashville.com.